following is a presentation of Yankton Bucks football on KYNT and KYN-TV. Bucks football on KYNT is brought to you in part by One Office Solution, Explorers Credit Union, Kaiser Heating and Cooling, Fox Stop, America's Best Realty, Floor Tech, Midwest Insurance, Graham Tire, Stockman's Motorsports, Sherco, Gernsner Oil, Vision Real Estate, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General, Mason Schramm and the Move Group, Hy-Vee, Olson's Pest Technicians, Dakota Beverage, Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance, Buell's Cleaners, and First Chiropractic Centers. Now it's time to go live to the field with Brayden Butler and Josh Boelter for Yankton Bucks football on KYNT and KYN-TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton, South Dakota. It's the Yankton Bucks hosting the Brookings Bobcats in a Class 11 AA matchup here tonight in Yankton. It's good to be back home on the friendly confines, Josh. I'm Brayden Butler alongside Josh Boelter. We're live tonight in the broadcast booth brought to you by the Fairfield by Marriott and Holiday Inn Express in Yankton. You can get great rates and flexible reservation changes with either hotel. That's right here in Yankton. Josh, I already alluded to it, but it's nice to be back home after the longest road trip of the season to this point last week against Sturgis.
Yeah, long road trip last week, obviously not the result the Bucks want, and tonight is about how they respond. We'll see what this Yankton team does after facing a little bit of adversity this week, after the long road trip, after losing to Sturgis. We're going to see how this team responds tonight.
You know, they're going to change the order a little bit this week because I buried the lead and mentioned Sturgis a little earlier than we usually do in the broadcast. So we're actually going to go to your Friday Night Rewind brought to you by Larry's Heating and Cooling. That's Larry's Heating and Cooling here in Yankton. Looking at the stats from last week, ends up being a 27-21 loss to the Sturgis Scoopers out in Sturgis. It was Military Appreciation Night for them last week. We made the joke they had the military on their side. They had the advantage there, but I digress. Tate Bestie threw the ball 46 times, completed 20 of those passes for 228 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Owen Eidsness sticking with the passing game, leading man once again in that receiving core. 10 catches for him, over 170 yards, and he caught both of those Bestie touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's where Yankton found a lot of their success last week. They really wanted to push the ball downfield. For better or for worse, sometimes you saw it work to the tune of 177 yards and 2 touchdowns for Owen Eidsness, but there were a lot of incompletions there too, and that's where you see that below 50% completion percentage for Tate Bestie last week. So, you know, some wins, some losses in the deep passing game, and you know, it's something where overall the plain numbers look really good from last week, but there's some things where it was kind of big player bust. It felt like a lot of times for this offense.
And that passing game was hindered a little bit last week. The number 2 receiver in all stat categories, Abe O'Brien, did leave that game with an injury, and I've seen him walking around in street clothes today. So he is not active tonight for this one. He's not listed on our starting lineup either, so there's another indication for you. But the onus, I guess, of the receiving core now turns to other guys like Carter Boomsma, Cale Hazelhorst, and Tegan LaCroix, who stepped in last week. All the 3 of those guys kind of stepped in trying to fill that void that was left on the edge by Abe.
Yeah, and that's kind of outside of Owen. That's going to be receiver by committee out there. You've seen Cale make some big plays the last few weeks. Like you said, Tegan filled in a little bit. Boomsma, we know about his speed. There's a couple guys there that they have that can do some of those things. We know Abe is kind of a go up and get it, go deep type of guy, but you can get the pass game done in other ways with some of those other guys that I'm really interested to see how those 3 kind of do in a combination to fill in the rest of those receiver roles tonight.
Oh, as you're trying to maybe fill in the receiving role, you can also lean on your running game a little more, and it's a solid running game to lean on. Jace Sedlacek last week had 112 yards on 26 carries, just under 4.5 yards per carry and a touchdown for him. I really thought that those running lanes we saw early in the game were 2-3 yard runs. They were opening up in the second half, just unable to really finish things off in the end for Yankton as they fell.
Yeah, the run game really wasn't there in the first half, but I think it got better as the game went on. I just think at the point where Yankton was at in the game, especially in that midway point of the fourth quarter, they felt the need to throw the ball a little more. But yeah, I think the run game in the second half, this team should walk away with much more pleas than did in the first half last week.
Defensive side of the ball last week, couple leaders there. Defensive player of the game in his first week back was Easton Feeser, 5 tackles, a TFL, and an interception. He earned that award, and then the tackle leader last week was Cale Hazelhorst, 7 tackles and a pass breakup for him.
Yeah, he's Mr. Do-It-All. You're going to see him even more tonight on offense like we talked about, but defense, back there at safety, he is a ball hawk, gets it done, interception machine on this football team, and it's always fun to watch him play on a Friday.
27-21 loss last week to Sturgis moved the Bucks to 4-2 on the year and dropped them to 3rd in the 11AA standings. Opposite end of things, Brookings comes in 3-3, 7th in the class. We'll break down this matchup a little more when we come back here on KYNT, KYN TV. We're back in a couple minutes.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
I love 1919 root beer. It's the best over a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. My favorite is just ice cold 1919 poured over crunchy ice. It's so refreshing. It's the creamiest root beer ever.
1919 root beer is the perfect treat. Brewed in small batches with only the finest ingredients. It's the creamiest, full-bodied, alcohol and caffeine-free draft root beer available. It's a taste tradition since, well, 1919.
The Boathouse is for everyone. Axe throwing, mini bowling, shuffleboard, beanbag, golf, pool, and darts. Plus awesome food and drinks with lots of cold craft beers and other beverages. Some say the Boathouse is the most fun you can have on land. Trivia on Tuesday nights, music bingo on Wednesdays with live music on Friday night. This is downtown Yankton's fun gathering place for all ages. If you can't be on the boat or at a Bucks or Gazelles game, then it's the Boathouse.
Want to take the hassle out of servicing your heating or cooling system? Then sign up for the Kaiser Signature Membership Program. This is Chris Frick with Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Not only will you get peace of mind knowing your units are being serviced regularly, but being a Kaiser Signature member gives you priority service, a discount on parts and labor, and no overtime rates. Take comfort and let our qualified professional technicians keep you running.
Be the wiser and go with Kaiser. Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Welcome back in here on KYNC and KYN TV. This is Yankton Bucks football here at Crane Youngworth Field, returning home after last week's loss to the Sturgis Scoopers. It's the Brookings Bobcats in town this week, and it's time to look at your matchup breakdown as the Bobcats and the Bucks are set to do battle. Yankton comes in 4-2 overall, 3rd in Class AA. But I think the most important thing here, Josh, is that undefeated record at home. They'd love to keep it that way today as they're back at Crane.
Yeah, looking to move to 4-0 at home. And I think the other thing you mentioned there is they're still 3rd in 11AA. Yeah, you lose last week, and it feels like the sky's falling. But the truth is they're only about a half a seed point, less than half a seed point out of second place. It's one of those where a lot of things are still in front of you. And like you said, they're a good football team at home that we've seen so far. And they still got this week and next week at home. So a chance to do some damage here in this little home stand. And that starts tonight against Brookings.
On the road, both teams have struggled this year. 1-2 for the Bucks, 1-3 for the Bobcats. So neither team really likes to get on the bus from the looks of it. In the 11 AA media polls that were released earlier this week, the Bucks dropped from 1st to 4th with that loss to Sturgis. Brookings comes in unranked in that poll. As I know a lot of teams don't like to look at what the media are saying or posting their newspaper clippings too much, and that's something that Coach Muth even mentioned earlier this week at practice and at quarterback club, Josh, is he felt like his team, maybe they got too caught up in the newspaper clippings talking about how good this Bucks squad was, and they overestimated Sturgis a little bit last Friday.
Yeah, well, as someone who works in media, I'll tell you straight up, a lot of the times, in my opinion, these media polls and things like that, they don't really matter until about this point in the season because you don't really know what a lot of these teams are until about this point of the season when you're 5 or so games in. At this point now we're 6 games in, but it's one of those where, yeah, maybe they caught up in that a little bit, but now it's as simple as this. If you want to be at that spot, you got to work your way back up, and once again, it starts right here tonight.
Like to flip it and fix it as well. Muth said that he felt they underestimated Sturgis, not overestimated. Get that backwards sometimes, I guess, but I digress. Should be a great matchup tonight. 4-2 for the Bucks, 3-3 for Brookings. We already looked at Yankton's game last week, but let's look at Brookings last week. They're coming off a tough game against T-Area, 20-0 loss to the Titans. Their quarterback, Jones Huntemer, 2 for 11 for 25 yards, and he was sacked 4 times in that loss. Bergen Tetzloff was the leader. We're going to talk about him a lot tonight. He's committed to South Dakota State University. He had 7 carries for 43 yards. He had a catch for 13 yards. He had 13 tackles and a pass breakup. That guy was just all over the field once again for Brookings. It's a name we're going to be looking at a lot tonight, and that's something that Yankton's going to have to do on every play as well, is find number 10, identify him, and keep him contained.
Yeah, he's a really good football player, can do it all. Like you said, he can run the football, he can catch it, and he can make tackles. Anytime you have 13 tackles, that's a pretty impressive night, let alone what else you do on offense. But, yeah, he's a really good football player, a big kid coming in at 6'5", 235. Got to keep an eye on him, and, yeah, he's going to be an interesting player to watch tonight.
Couple other guys that shined on defense last week for Brookings. Phoenix Sather had 9 tackles, and then Blake Cannigator, 6 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, and half a sack. Feels like just another Cannigator on the defensive line that causes problems in the backfield. I think he had a brother or a cousin a couple years ago who was one of the top sack leaders in 11 AA.
Yeah, plus it's just a top-tier name, if I'm being honest with you. Cannigator, that's a pretty great name. But, yeah, doing really well there on that front, in that front 7, getting business done there. And like I said, recording a tackle and a half, or a TFL and a half, I guess, if you want to say it like that, as well as that half sack, playing really well. And once again, another interesting player to watch. We talked about Brookings. They want to play defense, and they got the guys to do it.
Number 2 defense in the entire class, according to scoring allowed, points allowed for the Brookings Bobcats. We'll keep an eye on that tonight. In recent history, Yankton has dominated this matchup with Brookings, though, Josh. 4-1 are the Bucks against the Bobcats since 2021, winning 4 straight. Brookings' last win was a 35-20 victory back in 2021. But since then, 2 games in 2022, 38-27 and 49-14 wins for Yankton. And the last 2 games have been all Yankton, 48-0 in 2023 and then a 24-7 win last year for the Bucks. So this is a team that Yankton's had Brookings' number, but this is a program that, even in my conversation with Coach Muth and our conversation with Coach Gordon of Brookings, this was a team that has a lot of seniors now that were forced to play varsity as sophomores, and now they have a lot of experience, and they're looking to dish out some of the things they had to deal with in their younger days.
Yeah, and we'll see how that plays out tonight, and if they're going to grow from these last couple of years and see where they are with Yankton right now. I mean, there was a time when Yankton kind of struggled in this matchup for a bit there pre-2021, but that's something that really since then Yankton's done a really nice job and won these last 4. Now we'll see if Brookings can flip the script tonight.
Should be a lot of fun tonight. It's always fun when you're under the lights at Crane Youngworth Field. When we come back, we've mentioned or alluded to the conversation with head coach Carter Gordon of the Brookings Bobcats. We will have that interview for you in your rival report when we come back. After that, we'll also have your Buck in the Headlight interview. Drace Gaskins, the focal point this week. And, of course, we'll hear from head coach of the Bucks, Brayden Muth, as well. All that coming up here on the Hy-Vee pregame show on KYNT, KYN-TV.
Union people are my people, dreaming big, keeping life simple, saving smart, living free at Explorers Credit Union. You're just like me. We chart new trails, we stand tall, together we rise, together we call. Credit Union people are my people, it's true, and I found my crew at Explorers CU. journey today.
Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top-quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
A couple days ago, a teacher came into the UPS store to print some worksheets for her classroom. As we were printing, she asked if we could help her design and print a custom banner for her school's upcoming event. Yes, we can. At the UPS store in Yankton, where for over 8 years we've been serving educators, businesses, and community members with all kinds of printing solutions. Stop by today and let us assist with your next project, and be sure to ask about our shipping services or current print specials.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Stay healthy this season with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. They are hosting flu shot clinics every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4:30, from October 7th through November 11th, and Saturdays, October 11th and November 8th from 9 a.m. to noon. Walk-ins are welcome, or schedule your appointment online at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. Don't wait. Protect yourself and your loved ones today with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
FNBO is the great big small bank. And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
Brayden Butler here on the Hy-Vee pregame show. Hy-Vee, there's a helpful smile in every aisle. It's time for your rival report today on the pregame show. We're talking to head coach for the Brookings Bobcats, Carter Gordon, about his Bobcats team. Peek behind the curtain, Coach Gordon. We're recording this a day in advance, so you guys haven't made the trip down to Yankton yet. But how are you feeling heading into this week 7 now matchup with the Bucks?
Yeah, we prepped the boys all week for what we thought we were going to see when we head down there this Friday, tomorrow. But, the boys responded really well to what we were coaching them to do. So it was a good week of practice.
The order of our conversation might be a little backwards here. So we're going to start with last week and then kind of focus on your season as a whole at this point. But last week, a tough loss to T area, 20-0. The Titans end up getting the win in that one. I was looking at the stats from that game because for some reason we're on T area's mailing list for their stats, and I will not complain. But it felt it seemed that the Titans really were able to control possession of the game, not giving your offense a lot of chance at all to do anything with the ball.
No, we for a lack of better words, we kind of got it handed to us on Friday against T. We didn't move the ball very well. We had lapse in execution on our offense for sure. We left our defense out there way too long, and they gave up 20 points, but that was the first half. And after adjustments were made, our defense came out and played really, really well. We just couldn't get things moving up front. We couldn't get the ground game working, and when we tried to go to the air, we dropped passes. I think we had 6 drops in the air, and then we were just, our offense handcuffed itself, and we couldn't do anything. And give T credit, they were really well prepared, and they came out and put the pedal to the floor and didn't look back.
Now switching gears here, more of an overview of your season as a whole so far. 3-3 to start things. You had that stretch from week 2 to week 6, I believe, or week 5, I believe, of winning 3 out of 4 straight there. Big win against Mitchell. Close game against Aberdeen Central, who I know despite their slow start to the season always seems to finish strong. So they're another good team. And then you get a AAA win, which seems to be becoming rarer and rarer in AA over Sioux Falls Roosevelt in your last home game. Just how are you and what are your opinions on how your team has been performing throughout the season as a whole?
I think minus the T game, I think we've done a really good job of playing the game that we want to play, staying within ourselves and playing good football. But our Sturgis loss and our Pierre loss are 2 games that we as a team agreed that, we definitely should have came away with a win in that game. Some mistakes made in both games that ended up being the difference, and so we feel like we left 2 out there for sure. But like I said, last week was not our best day, and T deserved that win. So overall, I think I would say we're executing fairly well, and the team is aware that the record is not what they want it to be, but it's what we do with the end of the season that counts. So.
And for those of our listeners that may not be aware, the 2 losses to Sturgis and Pierre, 5 points to Sturgis, that was out in Sturgis as well, and then 3 points to Pierre. So a combined 8-point difference in those 2 losses. So you're playing these really tight games where if a couple bounces go a different way, you could be looking at only a 1-loss season right now. Yeah,
and it tears at me to hear you say it that way, because it's how we feel. But you have to execute every play. You have to be focused every play. And unfortunately, there was 2 plays, give or take, in both games that we weren't prepared for the play to happen, and it blew up in our face. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
I want to talk to you about some of the studs you got on your team, and I don't use that term lightly. First name that really jumps off the page when you look at him is Bergen Tetzlaff. I know if information I've been given is correct, he's going to be playing at the D1 level here shortly, still in Brookings with SDSU, unless I have that wrong. But he's a guy that really pops out on paper and on tape for you guys.
Yeah, he's going to be attending SDSU to play football. What they want to do with him, I'm uncertain of, but he is definitely the guy that makes us go both offensively and defensively. He plays middle linebacker for us, communicates all of our schemes on the defensive side, make sure guys are lined up correctly, and then making the right reads on the field. And on offense, he makes plays that you sit back and you think, how in the world could he do that? But it's just, to him, it's another day playing football with his buddies. He's very talented, great player for us, and he makes us go.
And I know Bergen's obviously the big name, but who else really helps make your team go, as you said there at the end?
We have a mostly senior offensive line, and when they feel comfortable going into a game, they really make a huge difference for us. And then we have a kind of room full of running backs that help us out. And Gus Armenta is our starter, and he was playing JV last year, and there was 2 guys his grade, same grade as him, that were playing varsity, and then he kind of exploded onto the scene, works really hard for us, worked really hard over the summer, and he's been running the ball really, really well for us. His vision has gotten a lot better, and he's already a fairly athletic kid. So I would say Gus for sure, and then we have 2 junior wide receivers on offense that have kind of been thrust into positions to make plays for us, and have played really well all season. And then defensively, we have almost all seniors on defense, and our 2 DNs have been playing really well for us, and our linebacking core is kind of the base core of our defense. And we got 4 guys right there that are seniors, plus a 5th senior as well, that plays meaningful minutes at linebacker. So we have a lot of seniors, a lot of guys that have played varsity football for almost 3 years now. So that's we're very fortunate in that sense.
I know I made the joke to you before we got started that coaches don't really like to show their hand in terms of X's and O's when I talk to them for these pregame interviews. But I guess layman's terms, simple terms, what do you feel your team needs to execute Friday night to come into Crane Youngworth Field and head back to Brookings with a win?
I think our offensive line needs to not be thinking too much about the defensive front and what they're seeing. They need to follow their track and do what we have been teaching them all year. Nothing has changed. It's just sometimes we get a little bit flustered when we go into a new week, at least to start. We don't start games off very well. And then we settle in. I just want them to be settled in when we get off the bus, and we've made that a point of emphasis this week. And then on defense, against T, it was one or two things here or there every play where they would break just a simple power for 15 yards. And we were always in the right position, just weren't physical enough, or we weren't quite in the right spot. And we did the right technique. We just didn't get to where we needed to be, and we got kicked out, and they pulled the tackle pulled up. So, we're right there. We just, like I said, we just can't take plays off. We always have to be doing exactly what we've been taught to do.
Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for taking time this afternoon to talk to me here for our pregame show. A safe trip to you and your guys down to Yankton tomorrow, and good luck on the field.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was head coach Carter Gordon here on KYNT and KYN-TV. This is your Hy-Vee pregame show. We're going to keep things rolling here in a couple minutes when we come back.
Are you on track to retire? I'm Adam Boelter, a certified financial planner with Vantage Financial, born and raised in Yankton, South Dakota. My team and I pride ourselves on building trust through clear, honest advice tailored to your unique goals. From retirement planning to smart tax strategies, we'll create a personalized plan to help you feel confident and secure about your financial future. Visit vfplanning.com or search Adam Boelter, Vantage Financial, to schedule a 15-minute call today.
Vantage Financial Partners is a registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of Vantage by the SEC, nor does it indicate that Vantage has attained a particular level of skill or ability.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? Or singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40. Or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
At Mead Lumber of Yankton, we're more than building materials. We're your partner in every project. From your first sketch to your final nail, we're here with expert advice, quality products, and hometown service you can count on. For over 100 years, we've been proud to build homes, businesses, and dreams with you right here in our community. Stop in and see what makes Mead Lumber the trusted name in building. Mead Lumber of Yankton, helping you build, helping you grow, from design to finish.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
For coverage you can count on, call Brendan Hansen or Brandon Tykrow in Yankton today.
The perfect place to get together with friends and family and watch the game and enjoy some of the best wings in town is Checkers Sports Bar and Grill. Checkers is open every day, and on Monday nights, the action gets even better. Cheer on Monday Night Football with $6 cheeseburgers and fries, plus play bingo and your chance to win great prizes. From mouth-watering wings to juicy burgers and stacked sandwiches, Checkers Sports Bar and Grill is Yankton's favorite destination for food, friends, and game day fun. Your game days belong at Checkers. Have a large group or event that you'd like to offer clothing for? JJ Benji's can make you look good. Instead of you taking orders, collecting money, and then delivering the clothing, let JJ Benji's handle it all. JJ Benji's will create an online store with the merchandise you want to offer. People order, pay, and then JJ Benji's will ship it. You just provide a link or QR code to the online store, and that's it. Contact JJ Benji's in Yankton for more information.
Welcome back in here on your Hy-Vee pregame show. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. It's time for your Buck in the Headlight interview here on KYNT and KYN TV. We're talking to Drace Gaskins this week, a trench warrior for the Bucks football program on the offensive and defensive line, talking about his game in the trenches and how he feels his team can bounce back this week against Brookings. Let's go to the interview now. Drace, we'll start just first of all, I know you guys are coming off of a tough loss to Sturgis last week, first loss to an 11 AA opponent. What is the mindset this week in practice coming off of that loss?
Just to not let it happen again. Really, I mean, there's always good in everything, so I think not that it's good that we're not undefeated anymore, but it just shows that we can lose, and I think that's helping some of the guys' mindset lock in a little bit more and prepare better for this week.
Now, you're a guy who playing in the trenches. That it's fun for you guys. It doesn't look fun sometimes with how that works out down there. But we'll start out on the offensive side of the ball. Feels like your offensive line works really well together, not only opening holes in the running game, but it feels like Tate predominantly has a lot of time to pass as well. So what's the mentality like on the offensive line?
I think we're just trying to protect our quarterback there. I think we have really good pass pro. I mean, we had a lot of new guys on the line, including myself, and it's just we're all guys that want a chance to start and have been working towards something. So now we're all proving ourselves the best we can. Switching to the defensive side of the ball for you, you're a guy who we go back after the games and watch the defensive side of the ball specifically, and you're a guy who's popping on tape a little bit from the interior of that defensive line. I think with our updated stats, we got you for 20 tackles, a couple tackles for loss. Feels like you're really putting it together in that kind of nose guard, nose tackle spot. Yeah, I mean, defense is fun. You just get to go mess some stuff up. So it's a different mentality than offense. You're just going in there, putting pressure and trying to be a dog. You know, we looking. If I remember our stats right, I obviously don't have them in front of me. I think you have one sack this season. I might be, correct me if I'm wrong there, but you ever put any thought if you get another one, if we got any sack dance or celebration for you? I don't know. I'm not a huge celebrator. I just like to keep having fun. So we'll see though. You have to get one of those in the vault. Yeah. All right, you come back home this week against a Brookings Bobcats team that you've won the last couple meetings with them. What are your expectations for Friday night at home? Everyone to just go hard and everyone to be there, care about it. Like football, everyone has their other stuff going on, but when we get to the locker room, we should all be in the same mindset that we're going to go beat some Bobcats and just have a good one. Big thank you to Drace Gaskins for taking time earlier this week to talk to us here at KYNT and KYN TV. That was once again your Buck in the Headlight interview brought to you by The Boathouse. We're back in a couple minutes to keep things rolling here on KYNT, KYN TV.
I'm Colby Cookta, one of your Yankton Edward Jones financial advisors. We're all about financial investments, but we also value the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles on KYNT.
Call 605-653-4860 or visit edwardjones.com for all your investment needs.
I'm Colby Cookta, financial advisor Edward Jones Yankton, member SIPC.
Mount Marty is committed to excellence in nursing.
We really go the extra mile to care for our students as a whole person. My name is Crystal Diedrichson. I am an associate professor of nursing at Mount Marty. As a Catholic Benedictine university, we can incorporate God and prayer in our regular classwork and interactions with students. And in addition to that, we care about the students in other aspects of their lives.
Start your journey at mountmarty.edu.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966, and with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests, Olson Pest Technicians can treat and cure them. Right now, they can provide grain fumigation on the farm and do one-shots for homes to keep pests out for the winter. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KIL-BUGS.
You've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury. Check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation.
Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet.
From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back.
Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
Now located on Summit Street across from the high school.
Do you struggle with dry contacts? At Vision Care Associates, we have a great option. Infused contact lenses by Bosch & Lomb.
Infused lenses are designed to ensure that your eyes stay hydrated and irritation-free, even after a full day of wear. Our doctors specialize in fitting these lenses for maximum comfort and optimal vision. Schedule your consultation and experience the all-day comfort and crisp, clear vision you deserve.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Sherco, the industry leader in tarping, has done it again with the release of the all-new Sherlock E-Series electric tarp. The E-Series features fully assembled front and rear arm, a pre-wired sealed control box, and Sherco's exclusive SmartWire sealed harness for quick and easy installation. Operate the E-Series with the SureLink EZR remote or by your smartphone using the SureLink app. Add more time to your day with the Sherlock E-Series. To learn more, contact your authorized Sherco distributor or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best. Demand Sherco.
Welcome back in here on the Hy-Vee pregame show. Hy-Vee, there's a helpful smile in every aisle. It's time for your pregame coach interview, brought to you by 1919 Root Beer, the creamiest full-bodied draft root beer available. Find it in convenience stores, grocery stores, or on tap at area restaurants. This conversation with head coach Brady Muth took place earlier this week at Bucks football practice, heading into tonight's matchup with the Brookings Bobcats. Let's go to the interview now.
Brayden Butler here on the Hy-Vee pregame show. It's pregame coach interview from 1919 Root Beer. Coach Muth, we're starting to talk about the Brookings Bobcats, but first we got to flash back to last week. Tough loss on the road, first time to an 11 AA opponent this year in Sturgis. What were your initial thoughts on that bus ride home on trying to get things right for this week?
You know, I think maybe we got caught reading our press clippings a little bit. They're high school kids, and we've had a lot of success up to this point in the season. And after coming off a big win, I hate the term trap game because I think it lessens your opponent. I don't want to take anything away from Sturgis, but I definitely thought, we probably could have done a little bit better to prepare mentally for that game. That's a reflection of us as coaches and them as players. And Saturday morning, I think there was, a clear concession that we need to do better as far as getting ourselves mentally ready to play a football game. And so, everybody owned it, and everybody looked at the situation and said, this is what we got to do to get better.
You mentioned earlier today at Quarterback Club, we're recording this on Wednesday, that the next couple games, Brookings and T, they kind of run that pulling guard offense that Sturgis ran. I don't know if we'll see as much power read, but that's an offense that seemed to be working for Sturgis this past week.
If I was Brookings, I would install the power read. Sturgis did a very good job of keeping us off balance, putting their athletes in a position to succeed. We didn't do anything to help ourselves out as far as making sure that we were in the right spot and reacting the right way. And again, I just think that has something to do with getting mentally locked in, and then things start to not go your way, and you get caught up worrying about how you're going to react to that rather than just play the game. And so, there was a lot of things mentally we fixed, and going into this week, feel a lot better about it.
I know it's easy after a loss to focus on the negatives, but a few things that really stuck out to me last week. I felt like the running game got going in the second half, and then the receiving game, Owen Isis with a fantastic day, 170 plus yards, 10 catches, and a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, Owen has been kind of the guy that has been real steady for us. Gabe went out fairly early in that game, and so responsibilities, making an in-game, finding an in-game solution for that sometimes is harder than it looks, and so just sliding Owen over to the X without any real work at that spot. Owen's done a really good job with taking the responsibility of being a playmaker and being an answer when we need one on offense. And like you said, the second half, the thing that we are really trying to build off of going into this week is our run game and being physical in the run game. And, outside of a couple of busts, we had a lot of opportunities in that game against Sturgis. We just didn't take advantage of them.
You're coming back home this week. I know it's always nice to play at Crane Youngworth Field, especially after a long trip last week. It's a Brookings Bobcats team on Friday that a couple years ago may have been down, but they seem to be roaring back as of late.
Yeah, I would say that this is a class that they've been really excited about for a while. Brookings, and it's a big senior class, and they're guys guys that are really committed to the program, and they've got a new coach in Brookings, and I think that's maybe led to a little bit of motivation, kind of rally around the flag kind of a thing. And so Brookings is a big physical football team, and they've got some very, very great individuals that play on their offense and their defense and their special teams. They show up and they make flash plays. They do present a bit of a matchup problem for us just because they're a big physical team. They've got a really good linebacker playing. They've got one of the better players in the state playing for them, and he plays everywhere for them. And so a lot of challenges for Brookings, and the one thing that Brookings does is they're always up for us, and they always play very physical football.
One last question for you, Coach. On your side of the field, what do you guys have to execute on Friday to get back in the win column?
We've got to get better at blocking and tackling. It's really that game, that when you go back and you watch the game against Sturgis, the situations, the right play is in the right situation. It's just the execution, and it might be blocking to the echo of the whistle, or when you tackle, not trying to arm tackle somebody, get your arms around them and run your feet and get them on the ground. And so those types of things, just performing and executing the skills that we need to do to have successful. I mean, it's a much more simple problem than overchanging or the calls not being called right. We got to get a little bit tougher and a little bit nastier if we want to have success going forward.
Big thanks to Brady Muth for making time every single week to talk to us here at KYNT and KYN-TV. Don't go anywhere. We're counting down the minutes to kick off, and we're going to keep it rolling here on the Hy-Vee pregame show when we come back.
When you make the right decision, it feels good. Like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision too. That's why State Farm agent Rhonda Westland is right here in Yankton to help you select the right protection at the right price. Rhonda will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call her. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? Sports injuries can happen quickly, posing threats to your health and ability to participate in your regular athletic activities. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson from First Chiropractic Centers. Chiropractic care can provide pain relief from sore and aching muscles and lead to faster recovery after workout by easing the inflammation you experience, like stiffness, pain, or restricted movement. Visit with us about managing your sports injuries. First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Don't you just love being pressured into buying something? Of course not. I don't either. This is Jamie from Larry's Heating and Cooling. Pushing you to buy is something we haven't done in our 44 years of being in business. Instead, we prefer offering you an honest, free, no obligation assessment of your heating and cooling system. And if needed, we'll quote you a fair price for repair or replacement. Don't like being pressured? Then call Larry's Heating and Cooling, Yankton and Vermilion.
I am John Marquardt, and I'm running for District 18 State Representative. I'm currently chair of the Yankton County Commission. I was born and raised in rural South Dakota and have an ag business background. I am a conservative that fights to keep taxes low, supports law enforcement, and I'll look out for the best interests of District 18.
Vote for John Marquardt for District 18 State Representative in the Republican primary, paid for by friends of John Marquardt.
It's game time. Under the lights, in the stands, or out on the field, Prime Energy powers Yankton Pride. Every can packs bold flavor and clean energy. No sugar crash, no nonsense. With electrolytes for hydration, B vitamins for focus, and performance you can feel. Prime helps you push harder, go longer, and stay sharp. Refresh, refuel, and rise with Prime Energy. Great taste, smart fuel, next level energy, and proud to power our Bucks and Gazelles.
At Elwood Family Dental Care, they believe patients should understand their treatment, not just receive it. That's why they show you x-rays and photos, explain the why, and keep you informed every step of the way. They treat patients of all ages and especially love caring for kids. Most pediatric treatments are done right in the office, trying to limit trips out of town. So come see Elwood Family Dental Care today, located at 19th and Broadway, where they take care of the entire family.
Welcome back live here to Crane Youngworth Field on KYNT and KYN-TV for Yankton Bucks football. We're in your Hy-Vee pregame show. Hy-Vee, there's a helpful smile in every aisle. right around a quarter of an hour away from kickoff here at KYNT and KYN-TV. So let's talk about some stats for this one. Some stats in focus brought to you by Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first. You can see on your screen if you're watching on KYN-TV, 2,050 yards of total offense for the Bucs this season. That's 341.7 yards per game. How they've gotten there: heavy on the pass, almost 1,300 yards for Tate Bestie through the air, 13 touchdowns to 4 picks. His leading receiver, as it has been all season, for 43 catches and 620 yards, has been Owen Eidsness. Cale Hazelhorse, been a bit of a jack of all trades for him as well. 11 catches, 143 yards, 32 tackles, 4 interceptions, 4 pass breakups, 2 defensive touchdowns. Josh, am I missing anything with Cale?
No, it can do it all. You know, we talked earlier with Brookings about Bergen Tetzloff. It's the same way with Cale Hazelhorse. He can play offense and make some big plays, and of course, we know the things he can do on defense, getting those picks, 4 of them this year, and like you said, 32 tackles, as well as a couple touchdowns on defense. He's an absolute stud and gets it done on both sides of the ball.
You know, we talk a lot about the passing game with this Yankton Bucks team, but the running game has worked well as well. Jace Sedlacek averaging just over 4.5 yards per carry from his running back spot.
Yeah, you know, and I think he's gotten better as the season goes on. I feel like his best 2 games have really been these last 2 in a lot of ways, where, like, even though, like we talked about earlier in the pregame, he got off to a slow start last week. He did. But as that game went on, he started to wear down that Sturgis defense a little bit. Started running the ball really well in the second half, and want to see him build on that right away here tonight against Brookings. But yeah, I feel like he's gotten a lot better as the season gone on, and the numbers show that.
A couple more defensive leaders for the Bucs. Chase Platt, team high in tackles with 40, and Edley Amaro, team high in tackles for loss with 10, has a sack in there as well. Those are both guys, Edley on the D-line, Chase is a linebacker, that are usually finding their way around the football.
Yes, Chase is always around the football, and he does a really good job of leading it and being that middle linebacker on this defense. Edley, like you said, he's doing a really good job of getting in the backfield, getting some TFLs. You'd like to maybe see get a couple more sacks, but sometimes you can disrupt the game without doing that, getting pressures, things like that. And you know his time will come, and he'll get home eventually. But yeah, overall having another nice season here.
Yeah, some of these teams we've played this season, too, just haven't dropped back that much. A couple more run-heavy offenses. I know Sturgis last week, even when they did drop back, there was always the threat of Jackson Kano to run with it as well on a scramble. Pierre was a fairly balanced offense a few weeks back, so that factors in, too. But that's something that I know Edley is hunting for more sacks on this season. A couple of team stats to keep an eye on. We mentioned Yankton's yardage already. 215 total points scored for the Bucs, 35.8 per game. That is the most in 11 AA. They're going against a Brookings team that has allowed 83 points all season long, 13.8 per game, which is the second fewest in AA, only to the T-Area Titans, who coincidentally the Bucs got next week. So a couple of tough defenses back-to-back.
Yeah, you know, they talk about something about unstoppable force meets immovable object. That's one of those situations when the Yankton offense is going to take the field against the Brookings defense. And both those sides on the ball are really dynamic, and I'm excited to see that match up throughout the night.
I always love the opposite end of that, and the
unstoppable force versus the movable object.
The Kent State UMass game this weekend is one of where UMass and Kent State are both 2 of the worst teams in the FBS right now. They're all way better athletes than I am, so no disrespect to those guys, but just record-wise. So I just love when social media turns around. The movable object meets the stoppable force.
I saw the same thing this week. I think it was the Chargers offensive line in the NFL against the Dolphins Dolphins pass rush. So do with that as you will. But yeah, no, I mean back to this one. Both this offense for Yankton and this defense for Brookings are elite, and I'm really looking forward to see what gives when those two face off in this game.
Let's take a look at your standings review now, brought to you by Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance. Let Rhonda review your current home, auto, or life insurance to see if she can help you save some money. Our 2 teams in action today. The Bucs, 3rd in Class 11 AA, 42.8 seed points, just over 0.3 seed points behind second-place T-Area. Brookings finds themselves in 7th. Sitting clear right now of missing the postseason by almost 2 points over 9th place Watertown. Looking at the list top to bottom, Huron's 1st, T-Area 2nd, Yankton 3rd, Sturgis and Spearfish tied for 4th, Pierre is 6th, Brookings 7th, and Aberdeen Central rounds out the playoff spots in 8th. Defending champions Watertown in 9th, Mitchell 10th, with Douglas in 11th to round out the 11 AA standings.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, Yankton, they're sitting pretty comfortably in first, but if things go wrong tonight, let's say they lose, or not in first, in third, excuse me, if they were to lose tonight to Brookings, and then all of a sudden, maybe Sturgis picks up a win or Spearfish picks up a win. Sturgis got a big game against Pierre tonight, but it's one of those where, just keep an eye on things. But Yankton, I think if they take care of business these next couple weeks, have a very real chance to be one of those top seeds still in the class here despite the loss last week.
You can never start looking too far ahead, but if Yankton does get a win today, that matchup next week with T-Area becomes must-see TV between those two teams. Before we go to break, I want to thank our fans of the game here, brought to you by Triple Time Rudy's. Whether you're traveling to a home or an away game, be sure to fill up at Triple Time Rudy's. They're located at 1606 Broadway Avenue. Also want to thank some of our sportscaster partners, including America's Best Realty. If you're ready to stop renting and start owning, whether you're looking to upgrade or buy your first home, America's Best Realty is here to help you unlock the American dream. You can call them today at 260-1600. And thanks to Elwood Family Dental Care, where they take care of the entire family and are always welcoming new patients. Also, a big thank you to Kaiser Heating and Cooling. When it comes to heating and cooling, be wiser and go with Kaiser. That's Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton. They're at 808 West 23rd Street. And Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with a vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. When we come back, we're talking keys to the game and starting lineups here on KYNT and KYN-TV. We're coming back after this break to keep things rolling on the Hy-Vee pregame show.
Ever have one of those days? Your car breaks down. Your dog decides your couch is a chew toy. And, oh yeah, a tree falls on your roof. Don't worry, Missouri River Associates has you covered. Auto, home, pet mishaps, we're here for all of life's little oops moments. Call 665-6885 for your free quote. Because life happens, and we're ready for it.
Buying or selling a home is a big decision. Work with someone who knows the ins and outs. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and with 20 years of experience, I will focus on the details while providing marketing knowledge, advice on staging, and negotiating to get your home sold. From start to finish, I'll guide you through the process, making sure nothing is overlooked. Call me, Deb Speck, Vision Real Estate, 605-664-5555.
If it's time to review the look of the signage of your business, let Mayor Signs help. They offer all types of signs, including exterior and interior signage, fleet wraps, digital signs, and much more. They also do logo creation and vehicle wraps. Their technicians arrive on site fully equipped to get the installation done with quality workmanship. With the latest tools and technology, Mayor Signs provides high-quality installation service for any sign. Contact Mayor Signs today on 4th and Broadway in Yankton.
Moody Motors in Niobrara has some really nice trucks that are ready for immediate delivery. This is a really nice looking 2022 F-150 Lariat with only 23,000 miles, and it's on sale for $46,900. Check out this one-owner 2024 F-150 with only 36,000 miles for $44,900. Also just in is the 2019 F-150 Platinum. These and so many more are found right here at Moody Motors in Niobrara.
You're in the mood for Moody.
Boston Shoes to Boots is your locally owned family shoe store located in downtown Yankton on Cedar Street. We offer the service and quality product to fit the whole family. Whether you're in the market for athletics, dress, casual, or work, come shop with us 6 days a week or shop online all the time at bostonshoestoboots.com. Try out our foot scanner and get fitted for insoles. Happy feet keep you healthy and on the move. Boston Shoes to Boots is proud to support Yankton High School athletics.
Looking for your next unforgettable vacation? Enter Yankton Thrive's Great Yankton Adventure Giveaway. You could win a free vacation packed with overnight stays, local dining, and even a guided fishing experience on the beautiful Missouri River, a total value of over $3,000. It's easy to enter and totally free. Head to our website, visit yanktonsd.com, and follow the giveaway link. Don't miss your chance to experience the best of Yankton. Explore more, adventure often, visit Yankton.
Welcome back in here on KYNC and KYN-TV. It's time to take a look at who's going to be your starters today for this matchup between the Yankton Bucks and the Brookings Bobcats. It's brought to you by First Chiropractic Centers, making life better one adjustment at a time. Josh Boelter, who are these teams rolling out there to get things kicked off?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with the visiting Brookings Bobcats here today. At quarterback, senior number 15, Jones Huntemer. At receiver, a couple of juniors here between Ezra Edom and Kingston Schneider. At running back tonight, a senior number 4, Gus Armenta. At fullback, a senior number 22, Jay Harris. At tight end, we talked about him in the pregame, number 10, a senior Bergen Tetzloff. Going on the offensive line here from left to right, senior Ty Yeager, senior Brady Carway at left guard, sophomore Jackson Neff at center, right guard senior Michael Nelson, and then Carson Lower, a senior at right tackle. As for the Brookings defense, it's a veteran unit. One guy on the team who's not a senior, that's the free safety junior Kingston Schneider playing free safety. The rest of it, though, seniors across the board. At defensive end, Blake Canigator. At the other defensive end spot, Steven Anawaski. At the nose tackle spot tonight, Zach Hageman. At linebacker, they are running a 3-4, by the way, I should mention, Phoenix Sather, Cash Sather, Bergen Tetzloff, and Jay Harris. And the other two corner spots, two seniors once again, and Ezra Edom and Jaden Hale.
Yeah, it's starters. You mentioned a heavy senior lineup, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Talked to Carter Gordon about it in our conversation yesterday, and we have eyes, we have ears. We see the Brookings team the last couple of years. They've been one of those young teams that needs time to grow, but now they've grown, and they've grown very well heading into their upper class seasons. Who are they going to square off with tonight to get things rolling for the Bucks?
Yeah, also a senior heavy team, as those of you sing at home know. Let's take a look starting with the offense here for Yankton. At quarterback, a senior number 10, Tate Bestie. At running back tonight, a senior number 24, Jace Sedlacek. At that H-back spot, a senior number 11, Edley Amaro. At receiver tonight, we should mention no Abe O'Brien as we get into this once again. A trio of seniors, though, getting the start tonight. Owen Eidsness, Carter Boomsma, and Cale Hazelhorst. At tight end, a senior number 9, Talon Kenny. Looking at the offensive line from left to right, left tackle, Austin Conway, a senior number 66. Riley Mortensen, a senior number 56 at left guard. Center, a junior, Ben Bowman, number 65. At right guard, a senior number 77, Peyton Eustace. And Drace Gaskins, a right tackle, senior number 64. As for defense for the Yankton Bucks, the edge spots, number 11, Edley Amaro, a senior. Number 9, Talon Kenny, also a senior. Defensive tackle, William Nagowski, a senior number 94. And at nose guard, a senior number 64, Drace Gaskins. Two linebackers tonight for the Bucks, a pair of seniors in number 33, Chase Platt, and a senior number 3 in Easton Feeser. As for corner, something to note tonight, Miles Drotzman back in the lineup, missing the last couple weeks. He's a junior wearing number 15, and then Carter Boomsma, the senior number 1. As for the rover spot, Gavin Johnson, number 21, a senior, and the two safety spots, senior Cale Hazelhorst, number 14, and then a strong safety, junior number 16, Tegan McCoy. As for special teams tonight, handling kickoffs and punts is Liam Villanueva. He's a senior. Field goals and extra points is senior number 30, Kevin Ortiz. As for the coaching staff, your head coach, Brady Muth, offensive coordinator and offensive line, Terry Hubert, defensive coordinator and linebackers coach, Justin Olson, special teams coordinator and wide receivers coach, Brady Hale. Quarterbacks is TJ Beacom, running backs, Jason Savvy, D-line, Dan Schwach, and DBs, Alex Topol.
Should be a good one tonight between the Bucks and the Bobcats. A lot of fun, and I kind of had to do the makeshift binoculars over here, Josh, for a second to look down there. I'm a fan of shoes. It's one of my vices when it comes to spending money, unfortunately. But Drace Gaskins in the Jordan 1 cleats, which are always fly out there on the field.
There you go, rocking the Jordans tonight, and hopefully to rock and win here in what's Game 7 for the Bucks this season. It's crazy how fast the season's flied, and as captains are heading out there, we should mention for the Bucks tonight, it's number 3, Easton Feeser, number 77, Peyton Eustace, number 65, Ben Bowman, and then also out there, number 25, Brennan Gilmore, your captains tonight for the Bucks.
4 guys out there for Brookings. Number 7, Blake Canigator. Number 10, Bergen Tetzloff. Number 12, Drew Johnson. And number 22 for the Bobcats, Jay Harris, are the captains today. As we wait for the coin toss here, I guess it's time to talk about our key player today. Key player brought to you by Missouri River Associates, and today it's Cale Hazelhorst, not only for just his great defense over the top as the safety, but now with Abel Bryan out, expected to step up a little more in the offensive game as well.
Yeah, and they've been working him in really a lot the last 3 or so weeks, a lot more on offense, but they're going to be doing that even more tonight with Kale, and excited to see how he does in that spot.
Keys to the game today brought to you by Vision Real Estate, where their focus is always on you. Number one, you got to establish that rhythm in the passing game that was just kind of lacking last week. Threw the ball 46 times, completed 20 of them. You want that completion percentage to be higher, and this season it has been higher for Tate overall. Another key is to find Berg and Tetzlaff, whether you're on offense or defense. Heck, if the kid's playing special teams, circle number 10, and just having the correct mindset. Coach Muth mentioned that they didn't feel like they got off the bus with the right mindset last week, and it really bit them against Sturgis. You're going to have that correct mindset today against Brookings.
Yeah, got to have that right mindset. You got to be 1-0 this week, and that's something Yankton's going to have to take care of. And we're going to see the Yankton defense first. They did defer to the second half, so we'll see defense here for the Bucks in just a couple seconds as kickoff gets ready to get underway.
Your kickoff is brought to you by the Boathouse. They got axe throwing, mini bowling, pool, darts, anything you need, plus awesome food and drinks, and plenty of TVs to watch some sports. Big thank you to our KYN TV watch party location of Ben's Brew Station. If it's on KYN TV, it's on at Ben's. And of course, our officials of the game today, brought to you by the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General. They are the law on the field. You mentioned it already, Josh. Yankton will kick off. They'll go west to east here at Crane Youngworth Field. That's right to left as you see it and hear it. Brookings will go left to right, east to west for the Cardinal direction fans out there. 12 minutes on the clock, 4 quarters to play. The band might have jumped their cue a little bit. They got to their note before Liam Villanueva was ready to start his run-up. And now Villanueva sends this one away to get things rolling here on a Friday night, and that's going to bounce at the one. It's not going to go into the end zone. They thought it was going to be a touchback there, and Yankton is going to pin Brookings back deep in their own territory. A mistake made there on the kick return by Mason Mathis. Rarity from a senior on this team, but Villanueva, perfect backspin on that kickoff.
Yeah, bounced perfectly, and like you said, Mathis thought that one was going to the back of the end zone. It didn't. He's lucky he turned around and noticed that it didn't. Otherwise, that could have been Buck's ball. Either way now, this Yankton defense, they're going to get to start very deep in their own territory, backing up this Brookings offense that is only averaging about 18.5 points per game.
1st and 10 here for the Bobcats from their own, looks like 4-yard line. So pinned back very deep. Shotgun set here for Huntemer. He will hand it off up the gut. Not a lot of room on that one. A herd of Bucks pushing the pile back. They'll give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 from the 1-yard line here. On that opening run, looked to be Gus Armenta, the senior running back. Stands 5'10", 185.
Yeah, not necessarily the biggest guy, but not small by any means, and they want to get him going in that backfield, and he's going to have to right now just try to get them some space, Brayden. Like we said, they are pinned back all the way about the 3 or 4 yard line here, just trying to get out of their own end zone.
2nd and 10, Brookings. Huntemer is lined up in his own end zone, as you mentioned. Armenta, the running back, on his right. 2 receivers to the right as well. Chest high snap, fakes the handoff. Now looking up the seam, but miscommunication there between quarterback and receiver. Threw it behind him, and that was almost intercepted by Tegan LaCroix.
Yeah, and that's one of those. LaCroix did a good job of reacting to the football. I thought maybe him and the receiver there, Item, had got twisted up a little bit on that, but no call, and now the Bucks one play away from getting a 3 and out here to start this football game.
Still 10 to go. Now 3rd down for Brookings. Huntemer going to line up in more of a pistol set here. Deep back is not Armenta. Looks to be Jay Harris out behind him. Huntemer takes the chest high snap, rolls out to his right, looking downfield, has some space to run into, is not going to get to the 1st down marker as he is escorted out of bounds by Easton Feeser. Gain of about 3 on the play brings up 4th and 7 from the 7 for Brookings.
Yeah, not much there for Huntemer on that one. Like he said, the senior linebacker who made his season debut last year just kind of escorted him out and said, we'll take that football now. Nice job by the Yankton defense, capitalizing off the special teams mistake from Brookings to start this football game. And going to be starting with really good field position here once they get this football.
Yeah, punter lined up with his heels basically on the edge of the end zone. A low snap, too. Got to get rid of it. Does get it away. Isaac back deep to return. He'll scoop it and actually just take a knee at the 44. So 1st and 10 Yankton from the Brookings 44-yard line. Excellent starting field position for the first drive for Tate Bestie and company.
Yeah, and that's something that can get an offense going. We talked about how they really kind of struggled to have consistency on offense last week. Maybe that's how you get it going here, starting with the ball on the Brookings 44, 45-yard line. Just get something going here and try to get up early if you're this Yankton football team.
This opening drive of the game is brought to you by Triple Time Rudy's. If you need to go on a drive, fuel up at Triple Time Rudy's. They're at 1606 Broadway Avenue. And first play of the game, we're going to get a flag. Well, first play for the Yankton offense. And they're going to march back 5 yards to the Brookings 49. 1st and 10. Still in plus territory, but starting behind the sticks here.
Yeah, snap infraction there, penalty, Brayden. And we've talked about those procedural things that Yankton has had some issues with at certain points in the season. And, some points it looks like it's going away, and then others, they have a few in a row. And that's not the start that Coach Muth and company want here in this football game.
1st and 15 now from the Brookings 49. And did we just get another false start against the Yankton offense?
Yeah, I think they're going to call the same there. Another snap infraction. The center, Bowman, sat down and then kind of stuck his rear up a lot there. And it looked like it was definitely another snap infraction, and they're going to call that every time.
Yankton no longer in Brookings territory. 1st and 20 from their own 44. Split backfield here for Bestie. See Sedlacek in the backfield with him, and that looks like LaCroix with him in the backfield. Bestie's going to take the chest high, snap, drop back, and fire it out right side. LaCroix in the flat, trying to get some fancy footwork in open space. He's back to the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 10 makes it 2nd and 10 from the Brookings 44. Tegan LaCroix is lightning in a bottle. You saw it right there out in the flat.
Yeah, just toss it in the flat there to Tegan, who was open and had enough space, and we know he can run. He's able to make something happen there and get back, like you said, to the original line to gain, and now 2nd and 10.
Trips right of the formation here from the right hash. Handoff to Sedlacek up the middle. Gain of about 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 8. Yankton trying to work that boundary side of the field.
Once again, obviously, Yankton's an aggressive offense. They're trying to pick up the first down here, but if they get within a couple yards, it's kind of in that weird spot where maybe going for it's in play, but let's see if they try to just get it here on 3rd.
Short motion for LaCroix, left side of the formation, and whistles blow. Jumping in the trenches, potentially on both sides, but it's Yankton who started it, and they're going to move back 5 yards. 3rd and 13. 3 penalties against the Bucs on this opening drive have cost them 15 yards. And Josh, you're 13 yards from a first down.
And that's the frustrating part, Brayden. You mentioned their opening drive. A lot of times you might see that in the middle of a game, but on the opening drive where you have things scripted out and planned out, it's frustrating to see.
Offense working from the right hash here. Bestie in the shotgun, Sedlacek in the backfield with him. 3rd and 13 from the Brookings 47. And delayed snap there. Bestie does get it. He's forced to scramble out left side. He'll let it go downfield. Sliding effort from Owen Eidsness, but in and out of the hands. Would have been enough for a first down, I believe, but ends up in nothing for Owen Eidsness and the Bucs. Yankton will punt on their first drive. A interesting 3-and-out, to say the least.
Yeah, it's as simple as this. Penalties killed that drive. You have 3 procedural false start, illegal snap infraction penalties in that, and that killed the drive right there, and now Yankton punting despite starting with the good field position.
Villanueva with his heels at his own 40. 2 returners back deep for Brookings. This could lead to some trickeration back there. Villanueva just sends this one away. It's going to bounce at the 5 and not take a Yankton bounce this time. Goes into the end zone. So you're only netting about 27 yards on that punt. 1st and 10 from their own 20 for Brookings.
Yeah, and you look at that one, Liam just tried to get that one down, but rolled in the back of the end zone. Now if you're Brookings, you avoid disaster despite that initial kick return error to start this game where Mathis thought it was going to the end zone, and it just didn't. It bounced and stayed at the 1. But now if you're Brookings, that kind of washes. You punt it, and you get a stop to start there on defense. Now you can see what this offense does when they're not backed inside their own 5 to start.
Yankton's got to be kicking themselves as well. You had that great start, great field position, and you bite yourself basically with those penalties against one of the best defenses in the class. And Yankton's defense showing up there. Tackle for loss. Loss about 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 12 Brookings now at their own 18. William Guzman-Ugovsky credited with the tackle there, Josh.
Yeah, and that's something you mentioned, best defenses in the state. I think Yankton's up there. The points per game don't necessarily show that. There's been a couple weird games with some punt blocks for touchdowns. You give up a ton to a AAA school, but I think this defense is right in that conversation too. I feel like they've played really well this season.
Pistol formation here for Huntemer. Belt high snap, looking left side. Lets it go. Almost intercepted. Easton Fieser knocks it down at the 20-yard line. And good thing he did, because there was a lot of space to run into for the intended target.
Yeah, Huntemer just didn't put enough on that one. His receiver wasn't looking, and Fieser did a good job there jumping the route. Wasn't able to come down with it, but nice PBU there for the senior linebacker.
3rd and 12 now. Yankton looking to force their second straight 3-and-out, and it'd be 3 straight 3-and-outs to start this game between the two teams. Huntemer and the pistol. He'll clap, take the snap, bobble the snap, and just dive on top of it to save the play. Big loss there, and it will be a 3-and-out. The punt units getting some work here early on with just over 9 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, and William Guzman-Ugovsky, that's going to technically go down as a sack on that play, so credit him. He had a TFL and a sack on that drive. A really nice drive here from the senior nose guard.
We're officially under the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter of play. Still 0-0. Technically only 9 plays have been run despite some penalties. And punting out of his own end zone again. High punt going to be received at the 50-yard line. Eisnes calls for a fair catch. Good punt there from Drew Johnson, the senior, trying to flip field position, but 1st and 10 right at the midfield stripe for the Bucs for their second drive of the game.
Yeah, and now if you're the Bucs, you look at it this way. Your average starting field possession in these first 2 drives is the Brookings 47. You got to go get some points here. Simple as that. And, get something done here. You got to get away from points on this drive.
See if Bestie can lead his men to some points here. 1 receiver split out wide. Left is Eisnes. 2 to the right, LaCroix and Hazelhorst. Bestie's lined up at about his own 45 as he takes the snap out of the pistol. It's a handoff up the gut. Sedlacek moves past the halfway line and down to the Brookings 44. Brings up 2nd and 6 for the Bucs. Longest run of the game so far. Still a small sample size for Sedlacek.
Yeah, but 4 yards right there, and that's something I know every football dad and football fan smile at home. 4 yards gets you first downs eventually, right? And that's a nice carry to get the drive started.
Something to keep an eye on here. Edley Amaro a little shaken up. He comes off. Boomsma comes on. Handoff to Sedlacek anyway without the power in front of him. Another gain here, this time of 5. He's slowly getting more and more yards. Brings up 3rd and 1 here at the Brookings 41-yard line.
Yeah, and Gaskins had a really good block on the right side, but Jace there kind of ran into a wall and still powered through and got a nice gain, like you said. Now set up a 3rd and short here for the Bucs.
7:45 and counting to go in this first quarter of play. Bestie brings Boomsma in motion left to right, and a false start most likely on the offensive line again.
Yeah, and that's going to be 3 of which snap infractions here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe if it's something that Bowman's consistently doing. You think the officials, I understand, they're calling it, like, at that point, if there's something he's doing consistently, I think you got to communicate that with him. That way it stops. And that goes both sides. If there's something in particular that they're being told to call, I think that should be communicated.
3rd and 6 now from the Brookings 46 for Yankton. Sedlacek goes in motion out of the backfield. High snap, but Bestie brings it down, has time, looks right side, has Owen Eisnes right at the sticks, and they're going to say he's a yard short. So 4th and 1. Bestie and Eisnes get those 5 yards back, but they needed 6 to move the chains.
Yeah, and I think Yankton will go for it here where they're out on the field right about the Brookings 41, but once again, we talk about those penalties. Yankton probably has a first down right now without that snap infraction. We'll see, though, what they do on 4th and 1 here, Brayden, as they come out an empty set.
Still 0-0 here. Gun empty, as you said, Josh. Under 7 minutes to play now in the first quarter. 4th and 1 for Bestie. He's going to bring LaCroix in motion, left side to right side. And a jet sweep to LaCroix off the right side. Gets the first down and a little bit more. He dives forward as he's pushed out of bounds. 1st and 10, Yankton, though. Tegan LaCroix moving the chains on the jet sweep.
Yeah, and that's one of those where, Brookings is looking empty set. All of a sudden, you take a guy who's really fast and you put him in motion and just hand off the football. You get the first down out of that. Nice play call there on 4th to keep the drive alive.
It's always one of those plays you got to keep your eye on as a broadcaster. Bestie put it in LaCroix's gut. It goes down as a run. If he just flipped that forward, it would have been a pass. Bestie takes the snap, looking to pass this time, rolls right, now looks downfield, has Cale Hazelhorst, who falls down to the turf at the Brookings 25-yard line. Move the chains again for the Yankton Bucks. 1st and 10, now knocking on the door of the red zone.
And we talked about Cale kind of stepping into that Abe O'Brien role today. Tate did a really good job there, rolling out right, finding his man, and moving the sticks.
Bucks with the ball on the right hash, Brookings 25-yard line. Sedlacek in the backfield with his quarterback, Bestie, and Bestie will hand it to him. He plunges inside, trying to fall forward, gets about 2 yards. If they're generous, they'll give him 3. Brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, just not much there. It looks like on the left side of the Yankton line, Brookings just won that battle, got through, and kind of stopped Sedlacek in his tracks.
And they're bringing more beef onto the field. Hazelhorst and Boomsma check out. Talon Kenny and Edley Amaro check in. Eisnes and LaCroix, the receivers. Sedlacek, the running back, behind his quarterback, Bestie, in the pistol. Bestie takes the snap, handoff to Sedlacek again, just puts his hand on the back of Edley Amaro and tries to use him as the lead blocker. It works pretty well, gets down to the 19-yard line. For the first time tonight, the Bucks are moved into your Midwest Insurance Agency red zone, but 3rd and 4 from the 19.
And you're seeing a lot of that from Sedlacek tonight, meeting his line kind of at the line of scrimmage there and just pushing him forward. Did on that play to pick up a nice gain. Now a 3rd and manageable, called about 4 yards here for the Bucks.
Bestie shotgun set again. You're going to hear that basically all night long. I can count on one hand the amount of under center plays I've seen them run. He's got some time in the pocket, now forced to roll out to his left, looking downfield. Has a man open, but just out of reach of Cale Hazelhorst. That's going to bring up 4th and 4. And Josh Tate might have had an option to run there just to get those 4 yards for the first down. Elects to pass and leaves it just out of reach.
Yeah, and I thought maybe he was going to elect to pass there or run there. He chose not to. Tight window there to Cale, wasn't able to fit it in, and now Yankton's going to be trying a field goal here on this 2nd drive.
Ball's at the Brookings 19, 4th and 4. Looks like LaCroix is going to set up to hold at about the 26, so a 36-yard field goal for Kevin Ortiz. We saw him come up a little short on a 39-yarder, I believe, in Sturgis. Snap is good. Hold is down. Ortiz's kick is up, and it is good. Off the crossbar and in. Needed a little extra boost on that one for Kevin Ortiz, but that's the first score of the game. The Bucks are on the board. They lead 3-0 here with 4:36 to go in quarter number 1, and that took all of Ortiz's leg there, Bull.
Yeah, it took all of his leg, and sometimes you need every inch on those kicks. Like you said, it bounces off the crossbar there, but I think Kevin will take it. Yankton gets on the board first here, and like I said, they need to get points starting in plus territory there. They get it done, get a field goal here early.
Yeah, Kevin Ortiz, 36-yard field goal to put the Bucks on top. That scoreboard update brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, the go-to place for specialized wellness and therapy. Also, that opening scoring drive for the Bucks brought to you by Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations. We're going to keep it right here as Liam Villanueva is already teeing it up to kick off, Josh, so not a lot of time to go to break and get back in time for the play. But Yankton on top, now slim lead, but first lead of the game.
Right, first lead of the game, and the way your defense is playing so far, these first 2 drives, 2 3-and-outs, you take the points where you can get them, right? That's one of those. Yankton gets those points, a big field goal there. And last time we saw Liam Villanueva kick off, Brayden, we talked about a special teams mishap from Brookings. Mathis, the returner, thought it was going to the back of the end zone. It kind of just died at the 1, so a really good start on special teams all around here for the Bucks. We'll see if Liam can keep it going here on this kickoff.
In Mathis's defense, if you kick it like that 10 times, probably 9 times it is in the end zone. He just got caught on the 1. This one's shorter. Mathis will receive it at about the 9-yard line. He tries to cut out left side, has some Bucks chasing him down from behind, cuts upfield to the 25 and down at the 26, maybe even the 27. They are going to give him the 27. So 1st and 10 from Brookings from their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, now if you're Brookings, you want to get this offense going. We know they want to run the football. Haven't really had a ton of success doing that so far, but that's where they want to go. And if Yankton can just keep winning that battle up front against the run game, this defense could have a really good day, and they have so far.
I'm Brayden Butler. He's Josh Boelter. We're broadcasting to you live on KYNT and KYN TV. Under 4:30 to go in the first quarter. Yankton leads 3-0, but an I formation here for Brookings. Huntemer under center, hands off up the gut, and not a lot of running room. The Bucks were able to pretty much stuff that one. Ends up pushing forward for a gain of 1 there for the running back. That's not Gus Armenta out there. That is Otto Eidsness. I wonder if there's any relation.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting there. Eidsness in this game. Either way, he's not able to pick up much of that one. Like you said, maybe a gain or two. And this Yankton defense, seeing that eye for him and knowing what's coming really with that dive up the middle.
Brookings' version of Eidsness stands 6'1", weighs 200 pounds for the senior. Listed as a running back and a linebacker. I formation again here for Brookings. They ended up giving him a gain of 2 on that play. Hunter's going to roll out to his right, chase down, firing downfield, almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Bergen Tetzloff and in and out of the hands of Cale Hazelhorst.
Yeah, and I think that was Chase Blatt that was sent on the blitz there, and he really kind of rushed Hunter's throw on that one and forced him to get rid of it early. Good job getting the pressure there. Good call from defense coordinator Justin Olson, bringing one of those linebackers up and sending some pressure. And now, once again, a 3rd and long here for this Brookings offense.
3rd and 8 for Brookings, who's already had 2 3-and-outs in this game. They're at their own 29-yard line here. Would hate to punt again. Fairly deep in their own territory. Hunter in the pistol. He'll clap, take a belt high snap. Steps up in the pocket, now looking to scramble. No, he's going to launch it downfield. Miles Drotzman in coverage. Welcome back, number 15. He left no space for that one to get dropped in there. And that's going to be another 3-and-out for Brookings as they're going to punt on 4th and 8.
Yeah, really good coverage there from Drotzman outside. Yankton brought a blitz on the right side of the Brookings line there. They sent the rover, Gavin Johnson, the running back for Brookings, did a good job of stonewalling that, and Hunter takes his shot. But once again, really perfect coverage there from Miles Drotzman, the junior, to force that incompletion, and now Yankton getting the ball back.
Drew Johnson on a punt for the 3rd time today. Eidsness back to return. It's going to split the gap between Eidsness' legs, and I think he touched that a little bit because he went after that ball to make sure it was secured. Yankton possession. Worst starting field position of the day for Yankton. 1st and 10 from their own 27 after a good punt from Johnson.
Yeah, good punt there. And I'm not 100% certain it touched him, but based on his reaction, you got to assume it does, or at least he's aware there's a chance that could get called a touch. Heads-up play there by the senior receiver and punt returner to at least go fall on that football. And now this Yankton offense, we've seen them in good field position so far. Only 3 points where obviously they're looking for 6, and we'll see if they can get it on this drive.
Trips right of the formation as Bestie takes the snap. Handoff, Sedlacek dives into the heart of his offensive line and goes not really anywhere. Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9 from the Yankton 28.
Yeah, just a simple dive play there, and there just wasn't much of a push, Brayden, from that offensive line on the interior there. Brookings did a good job winning that battle up front on that play.
Trips right here for Bestie and the Bucks. Sedlacek in the backfield with him again. Chest high snap. Bestie's going to look to pass. Has a lot of time. Now he's going to roll out to his right, try to find a different angle, and he finds Carter Boomsma for the 1st down and more. Down to the Yankton 41-yard line. Big gain there on the play. Brings up 1st and 10 for the Bucks.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of that from the senior quarterback so far. He's doing a lot of scrambling out of the pocket, buying himself some time, and settling and finding a man. That time he finds Boomsma for a gain of 13, like you said. Now we'll see if this Yankton offense is in business on this drive.
Split backfield behind the quarterback, Bestie. It's LaCroix back there with Jace Sedlacek. Bestie taking his time here. Under 2.5 to play almost. Bestie takes the snap, has some time, looks out right side, dumps it off to LaCroix in the flat again. Not as much space on this one, but you can understand why they want to get the ball in Tegan LaCroix's hands. That brings up 2nd down for the Bucks. Gain of about 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and that's all right. On that one, you look at it, just not much there. You flip it out to the back in that one in LaCroix and get a couple yards here and live to fight another down.
End up giving him 3 on that one, so 2nd and 7 for the Bucks from the Yankton 44. Handoff Sedlacek. He had a head of steam already just grabbing that ball, and he gets to the midway line, just past the 50-yard marker, so into Brookings territory. Brings up a couple feet to go, not maybe a full yard here on 3rd down.
Yeah, nice run on that one, just powering through. There were a couple Brookings players that got penetration. Like you said, Sedlacek just did a good job of getting through, picking up a nice gain.
Closing in on 90 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Yankton leads 3-0. Sedlacek up the gut, gets the 1st down. Didn't need a lot. Got 2 yards, and he's got the 1st.
And that's what's key there. Sometimes football, once again, we talk about every week, is simple. If you need a yard, go get a yard. And that's what they did there with the senior tailback, getting 2 and getting another set of downs here on this drive.
Under 1.5 minutes to go now in the 1st quarter. Yankton trying to increase their 3-0 advantage. Booms was going to take a short motion, left side of the formation. High snap. Bestie's able to knock it down, and now he has time to throw. Only a 3-man rush from Brookings. Bestie looking for Eisness in and out of his hands, and that's an incomplete pass. Could have been a lot more dangerous than it ended up being.
Yeah, it could have been a lot more dangerous. We saw the snap go high on that one. Tate did a good job of bringing it down, and then I feel like his feet maybe got a little too happy on that one right away. He scrambled out almost immediately after that. But, yeah, incomplete pass, but I think Yankton just feeling fortunate enough that that snap didn't go over Tate's head.
2nd and 10 now from the Brookings 48. Yankton working in plus territory. Bestie rolls out to his left. It's a designed rollout here. He's going to turn upfield and take it for himself down to the 44-yard line. So gain of about 4 on the play brings up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and that's something, Brayden, we've talked about a couple times in this quarter, waiting for Tate to do that. We've seen him scramble out a lot but not really take off. That time he does there for a decent gain on 2nd down. Now about a 3rd and 6 here for the Bucks. We'll see what they do on about the Brookings 44.
Bucks working from the left hash, trips right to the field side. Boundary side is just Owen Eisness on his lonesome.
Sometimes you'll see bubble out of this for Yankton. I don't think that's what they're going here, but
Bestie faked a quick route to Owen Eisness. Now tries to roll right. He is out of time and swung down with a big sack on the play. Getting in there for the Bobcats was Steven Anowski, the senior defensive end. He's 6'2", 205, and he used that size and strength to get after the quarterback there.
Yeah, and I think Tate had Teagan out wide. I don't know if that would have been enough for a first down, but maybe get a couple yards on that and get closer to that down marker. He didn't see it, and now the sack happens there. Now 4th down here as we end the first quarter.
Yeah, they're letting it run to 0 here, and that will do it for the first quarter of play. Your quarter break brought to you by Conkling Distributing. We're back in 1 minute. The Bucks lead 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, back in 60 seconds.
Car troubles never happen at a convenient time. Whether you find yourself with a flat tire, dead battery, breakdown, or in an accident, call Gary's Towing. They've been helping drivers in the Yankton area for over 50 years with light, medium, and heavy towing. Family-owned and operated Gary's Towing is the name you can count on, day or night. Call Gary, Mike, or Mason at 605-665-4351. Gary's Towing, where experience means reliability.
I'm Jason Orr, the new owner of FloorTech. If you're not familiar with FloorTech, we specialize in water, fire, and smoke damage mitigation and restoration. Also carpet and duct cleaning. If you do know FloorTech, you know we've proudly served the Southeast South Dakota and Northeast Nebraska regions for over 30 years, with locations in Yankton, Mitchell, and Pierce. Our experienced team will continue to tackle any water-related disaster or cleaning need, because when your home or floor is wet, call FloorTech.
Find them on Facebook or on the web at FloorTech Restoration.
Welcome back in here on KYNT and KYN-TV. Liam Villanueva with a punt. We switch sides of things. So the Bucks going left to right as you see it and hear it, east to west. Villanueva almost didn't get that off. It is a beautiful punt, and it drops perfectly at the 7, takes a bounce, and got really close to going over the goal line there. Heads up play on punt coverage by Will Sager, the sophomore. He gloves it at the 3. And for the second time tonight, Josh, Brookings in the shadow of their own end zone to start this drive.
Yeah, and that's a really good punt there from the senior. Once again, almost had that block, but he got it off just in time. And that spin on it as it hit the turf at about the 9, bounced the 3. And like you said, Yankton doing a good job of getting on top of it. And this is the second time, like you said, we've seen Brookings pin deep in their own 10. They have not gotten a first down yet in this game. Looking for that still for this Brookings offense, and I don't know what they'll maybe try to do differently, or if they'll try to stick kind of their usual script. Like we said, they want to run the football, see if they can get that going. Not much in the first quarter. A total of 3 rushing yards for Brookings.
3 rushing yards for the Bobcats, 3 points on the board, and they belong to the Bucks, who lead 3-0. Your first quarter of play was brought to you by First Dakota National Bank and the UPS Store.
We're going to get a Yankton timeout here on the field, Brayden.
Timeout. Brookings.
Correction, Brookings timeout.
First timeout of the half, and it belongs to the Brookings Bobcats. Timeout's brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Be wiser and go with Kaiser. That's Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton. We're going to take a quick break with them during this timeout. We're back in 30 seconds here on KYNT, KYN-TV.
Big things are happening at Parker of Yankton. With 2 new production lines coming soon, we're growing and hiring. We're looking for a product and a mechanical engineer, material handlers, line operation techs, and assemblers for both first and second shift. We offer paid vacation, medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, quarterly profit sharing, 401k match, and a fully paid retirement income account. If you want to work with a team that's building the future right here in Yankton, now's the time. Competitive pay, benefits, and room to grow. Apply today at parker.com/careers.
Parker, engineering your success.
Welcome back in here on KYNT and KYN TV. Coming out of your Kaiser Heating and Cooling timeout, there's 11:51 on the game clock here. Starting the second quarter, Huntemer in his own end zone, fakes the handoff under some pressure, looks out left side, just threw that one away. Nobody was in the area.
Yeah, that's
grounding.
And
that should be a safety.
That's a safety, yeah. That's grounding.
And I think that's what Muth is asking an explanation for on the sideline right now is nobody was in the area at all when Huntemer let that one go. It's going to still be 2nd and 10 from their own 3-yard line, but questions need to be answered.
Yeah, and Brookings getting a break there. I mean, that's textbook grounding. I know there was a little bit of pressure there, but yeah, that's textbook.
2nd and 10 now. Huntemer in the pistol again in his own end zone. He'll take a high snap here, drop back, and look down the middle of the field. Has a man open. Item in and out of the hands of Tegan LaCroix at first. Almost caught by Item. It falls to the turf. 2 shots at a catch. Nobody comes up with it.
Yeah, and Brookings, you can feel him kind of desperate here, trying to go for that. I don't want to say kill shots. It's only 3-0, but like you can tell they're struggling moving the football, running it. So they're trying to get a shot happen here. Very unusual for them to drop back and pass it twice here, especially inside their own 3, sitting in their own end zone when they snap it. Now all of a sudden, a 3rd and 10 here. Brookings in danger of going for another 3 and out.
Yeah, Huntemer's got to be sick of seeing red under his feet as he's lined up in his own end zone again.
He's 0 for 6 passing today, Brayden.
Bit of a low snap, but Huntemer corrals it. Here's his first completion out right side to Bergen Tetzloff, but going nowhere. Gain of 2 brings up 4th and 8. Big tackle there for Gavin Johnson to put that play away.
Yeah, and once again, this Yankton defense getting another stop, and Yankton looking at good field position here. Eidesness, the punt returner, lining up at about the Brookings 40 here. If you're Yankton, you got a chance again here to take advantage of some good field position and add some points.
Drew Johnson going to line up basically at the end of the end zone here. I think the 3rd time tonight he's punted out of his own end zone, feels like. Low snap. Johnson gets it and fires it away. Bounces at about the 32, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 40. 1st and 10, Yankton in Brookings territory. Might be their best starting field position of the day by a couple yards.
Yeah, I think it is. I think they started at the 44 on their first drive and then the 50 on their second. But, yeah, now Yankton with good field position here. They're up 3. They get that field goal 2 drives ago. A sack killed that last drive. Now Yankton, once again, we talked about it. Their defense is playing well. See if this offense can add some points here with really good field position.
Ball set up at the left hash here. 2 receivers left. Check that. 3 receivers left. 1 receiver right, and all of it's a handoff up the gut to Jason Sedlacek. Gets about 4 before his momentum is stopped. Brings up 2nd and 6 from the Brookings 36.
Yeah, nice run there to start the drive. And once again, we talked about it. Get those 4 or 5 yards on 1st down and just see what happens from there. Nice little run to start the drive.
Shotgun formation again with trips right, and it's just another handoff up the gut to Jason Sedlacek. It's more than just a handoff. He gets another 5 yards that time, brings up 3rd and 1. These 4 or 5 yard carries have been working for Yankton.
Yeah, and if you look at his numbers so far, they don't look impressive, 10 for 35, but I feel like Jason's played a nice game and had a nice little run there on 2nd down.
3rd down, another carry for Sedlacek. And this one he plunges forward and gets to the 29-yard line for a fresh set of downs.
And Brayden, they're working him early. Jace has got 11 carries here, just a couple minutes into this second quarter. You can tell this is something they talked about throughout the week, wanting to feed him early and get that run game going.
1st and $10 from the Brookings 29. Under 10 minutes to play now in the first half. Yankton leads 3-0 as Bestie takes the snap. Looks right side, lets it go over the middle. Boomsma tries to rip away from a tackler, but he is brought down on the play by Jay Harris. Gain of about 4 brings up 2nd and 6 from the 25.
And good read there from the senior quarterback. Boomsman was in the slot, and he just kind of sits on about a 4 or 5 yard hitch route and picks up 4 yards on that play. And nice read there once again from Tate Bestie.
Shotgun again here for Yankton. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right is Hazelhorst. Belt high snap, handoff Sedlacek. He dives into the heart of the defense again and gets about 3 on that play. They might give him 4. Brings up 3rd and short here for the Bucks.
Yeah, once again, that's the key, though. Getting those 2nd and 3rd and shorts and just make things happen against a good defense. You just got to find a way to put yourself in good spots, and Yankton's doing that on this drive with 2nd and mediums and 3rd and shorts.
Split backfield again behind the quarterback, Bestie. It's Sedlacek and LaCroix. Bestie takes the snap, has some time, has some man right side, and Hazelhorst just out of reach. And now 4th down here for the Bucks, and it looks like Kevin Ortiz and the kicking unit are going to come on for the 2nd time today.
Yeah, coming on for the 2nd time today. Just a little bit of a missed timing there. It was kind of an out route almost there looking for Hazelhorst, and I don't know if that was on the quarterback or the receiver or what, but like I said, just kind of a little bit of a missed timing there on that one.
8:41 to go in the first half. Kevin Ortiz looks to double the Yankton lead here. This would be a 39-yarder. He just hit a 36-yarder in the first quarter. Ortiz, his kick is up, angled towards the upright, and it is good. 39 yards, I think a new season long for Ortiz, and the Bucks are up 6-0 here on KYNT and KYN-TV. That scoreboard update is brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, the go-to place for specialized wellness and therapy. That scoring drive was brought to you by Core Trust Bank as well. Raise your expectations. The Bucks are on top of the Bobcats 6-0 with 8:39 to go in the first half. We're back in 1 minute with the kickoff here on KYNT, KYN-TV.
Do you have a storage unit? Isn't it a pain to go back and forth to it? Well, with Quality Storage Buildings, you can have a storage unit right in your own backyard. And instead of sending someone else rent, use their monthly rent-to-own program. Choose from storage options like sheds, garages, or containers. Buy pre-built or design your own building with their 3D builder. See the Quality Storage Buildings inventory in Yankton, Wagner, Freeman, Sioux Center, O'Neill, or Norfolk, or online at qualitystoragebuildings.com.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. Core Trust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from Core Trust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit coretrustbank.com today.
Member FDIC.
Bobcats return the ball back to about the 20-yard line to get things rolling here for their next drive here in the second quarter. Right around 8:30 to play in the first half. It's 1st and 10 Bobcats from their own 20. I believe that was Carson Kroll in there on kick coverage. A couple other guys helped him secure the tackle as well.
Yeah, and Brayden, how important has special teams been in this game? A kick and a punt from Liam Villanueva that penned Brookings inside their 5, and then 2 field goals, one of 36 and one of 39 yards for Kevin Ortiz. Special teams big so far, and of course this Yankton defense big. They haven't given up a first down yet.
Brady Hale's asking for a raise on Monday, and somebody else who might need a raise is defensive coordinator Justin Olson, as immediate shed on the front line by William Guzman-Yagovsky. No gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just nothing on that play, and that's really what we've seen for this Brookings rushing attack. They've got 5 attempts on the evening so far for a total of 3 yards.
That was Gus Armento on that attempt. He's checked out of the game now.
And also checking out is Easton Fieser here.
A power formation here. Tetzloff, we've seen this as a buck truck before. High snap. Chase Platt in the backfield. Edley Amaro there as well, among others. Bergen Tetzloff is going nowhere. Loss of 2 yards. Brings up 3rd and 12 from their own 18. But Brookings probably counting their lucky stars. It wasn't worse, as Tetzloff had to elevate to secure that snap.
That is how the original creator of football meant football to be played, Brayden. If you watch the Yankton defense, they literally had 11 guys in the box creeping up on that play. And of course, the snap goes high. And now, once again, Brookings with another 3rd and long here, just trying to get something going on offense.
Pistol formation here for Huntemer. Just over 7 minutes to play in the first half. Yankton leads 6-0 now. A pair of field goals belonging to Kevin Ortiz. Belt high snap. Hunnemer under some pressure, stepping up. He is going to be brought down in the backfield. Gavin Johnson stood him up. And I believe that's Jake Bivens in there finishing the play as well. A sack for the Bucks. Brings up 4th and long. And for another time tonight, we're up to 3 times now that Brookings is basically going to have to punt from their own end zone.
Yeah, for reference here tonight, Brayden, Yankton has more sacks than they have given up first downs. They've sacked the quarterback Hunnemer twice. No first downs here yet. And once again, pinned back deep. Gavin Johnson sent on the blitz around that side of the offensive line and does a nice job.
Punt is away. Eisner's going to call for a fair catch. He'll drop down to the 48-yard line in Brookings territory to start things off for the Bucks. 1st and 10 from the Bobcats, 48. And it feels like every drive tonight, I think outside of one, has been in Brookings territory.
Yeah, and this is Yankton's 4th drive starting in Brookings territory. They only have 6 points, though, on those other 3. Got to find a way to get something going here and give your defense even more of a cushion, even though they're playing really well. Want to see this offense get moving, too.
Shotgun here for the Bucks again. Bestie takes the chest high snap, hands off to Sedlacek, plunges forward, and he's brought down after a gain of about 4. They might give him 5. We'll call it even at 4.5 for second down.
And that's something you saw in the last drive, Brayden, where Yankton was doing a really good job of getting 4 yards on first down, just consistently 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, moving the football, and that led to a field goal. And you see it start right there once again on this drive.
Easton Feeser in on offense. He motions to the left side. Bestie takes the snap, has LaCroix on a corner route, but that one's just out of reach. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down now for the Bucks, 3rd and 6 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, just not able to connect on that out route or corner route again over there. Just missed LaCroix, and now, like you said, a 3rd and 6. I wonder what Yankton will do here. Had plenty of time, I should mention. Tate did on that. I thought the line did a really good job in pass pro on that play. Now we'll see what Yankton can do here on 3rd and 6.
Bestie in the shotgun again. 3rd and 6 from the Brookings 4-yard line. Eventually I'll get everything right. Bestie takes the chest high snap, looks right side, has Owen Eisnes along the boundary, gets both feet down. That one's good on Sundays. First down for the Bucks. They get down to the 33-yard line. So gain of about 11 there for Yankton.
Yeah, nice catch there by the senior receiver, getting both feet down. Tate gave his receiver a chance to get that ball, and he did. Bucks moving the sticks.
Bestie in the shotgun again. Working from the right hash here. He'll hand off Sedlacek. He cuts it back left side, and he is shoestring tackled. Basically at the line of scrimmage. They might give him 1. The near referee's giving him 1. The far referee's saying down at the line. And they're going to go with a 1-yard gain there for Sedlacek, 2nd and 9.
Every yard counts in the stat sheet, right?
As long as it's positive, you'll take it at the end of the day. Yankton leads 6-0 here with 5:23 and counting to go in the second quarter. Bestie takes the snap, handoff, Sedlacek again. Another play between the tackles, and Sedlacek much more successful on this one as he gets down to the 29-yard line. That brings up 3rd and about 6.
Yeah, and he's putting in the work here, Brayden. He's already got 15 carries in the first half. They are riding their senior tailback this evening and doing well with 50 yards so far in the first half.
Chase Sedlacek is going to be the proud owner of his very own ice tub after this game. 3rd and 6 Bucks. Bestie takes the snap, has a man downfield. Owen Eisnes in double coverage. Eisnes is brought down to the turf and a flag flies. Yankton might be moving those chains due to a penalty.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to give your playmaker a chance and see what happens. That time you get the pass interference and you get a first down out of that. And the way this game's going anyway, you can move the chains. You'll take it. Yankton gets it there.
We'll take a look at that again on the Vision Care Associates replay. Bestie, it is a DPI on the field. Bestie had a clean pocket, was going to his man Eisnes downfield, and as we kind of slow this down on KYN TV, you can see the defensive back got there early on Owen Eisnes. Just a fraction, but that's enough.
Yeah, just a smidge early on that one. And like if they wouldn't have called it, I don't know if I would have necessarily been upset, you know. But either way, no, first down at the 15 here for the Bucks.
1st and 10 from the Brookings 15. They're in the red zone. The Midwest Insurance Agency red zone. Handoff Sedlacek goes off the left side. Follows his blockers for a gain of about 3 on the play. So 2nd and 7 now from the 12.
Yeah, once again, those little jab punches we talk about, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, things like that. That's what Yankton wants to do here in this football game. Something we haven't seen them try a ton consistently here, at least not in one half. 16 carries for Chase's. Tate's rolling out right.
Yeah, Bestie rolls right, has some blockers in front of him. Thought about turning into a run, now looks back at the end zone, and Owen Eidsness is there! I thought Carter Boomsma was the intended target, but of course, it's going to find its way to number 0.
Yeah, and that was a really good throw there from the senior quarterback. If you watch that back, you'll see him kind of pad the football an extra time or two, then rock and fire, and he finds Owen Eidsness in the back of the end zone.
Now we're watching it back here. Bestie almost turned into a runner for a second there. Rocks, fires, as you said. Eidsness right along the back line, both feet down for 6. First touchdown of the game for the Bucks, and they're up 12-0, pending this 2-point conversion attempt to potentially go up 14.
Yeah, and I understand why you're going for 2. I don't know if you necessarily need to chase points here, Brayden, the way this Brookings or the Yankton defense is playing. Maybe settle for it. But either way, I understand why Yankton is trying to go for 2, get up that full 14 here.
Bestie in the shotgun here. Sedlacek with him. Bestie will take the snap and thought about just whipping it out to Sedlacek in the flat, but he takes it himself up the middle. Power running from the quarterback on the scramble drill there. And Yankton now up 14-0 here over the Bobcats. As we take a look at that 2-point conversion again in your Vision Care Associates replay, Bestie looked like the swing route was his first option to Sedlacek, didn't like it, turns upfield, puts the shoulder down, and fights his way into the end zone. 14-0, Yankton now on top here on KYNT and KYN TV.
Yeah, and what a drive there from Yankton. We talked about them. They've been able to get some points these last couple of drives. That time, though, they're able to punch it in for their first touchdown of the game, and all of a sudden with a commanding 14-0 lead with the way this defense is playing. They haven't given up a first down yet, Brayden.
That scoring drive for the Bucks is brought to you by Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations. Scoreboard update brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, the go-to place for specialized wellness and therapy. 14-0, your new score. 4 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the first half of play. Brayden Butler and Josh Boelter here on the broadcast for you on KYNT and streaming online on KYN TV. Liam Villanueva already teeing up the kick, so we won't go to break here.
Yeah, in this first half, flying by Brayden. Only 4 minutes left here as Brookings. They're going to get the ball back, and Brayden, we've talked about it. No first downs yet. They got to find a way to get something going here, help out this defense that's honestly starting to give up more plays as this game goes on.
Villanueva to kick off here. 2 returners back deep here for the Bobcats. Ball teed up at the Yankton 40-yard line. Villanueva starts his run up. And this one's a short kick here. It's going to drop at about the 20-yard line and take an awkward bounce. Jake Bivens almost there first. Will Rounds in there as well, and now brought down. Jolton Reimnitz-Hahn in there on a big tackle. Will Sager was in there as well. And, of course, Kylan O'Connor's coming off the bottom of the pile. Feels like him and Reimnitz-Hahn are just always there on special teams.
Yeah, always there and always laying the boom and laying the hit, laying the lumber, as we say. Oh, see what I did there? Anyways, now I thought that was going to go over Mietenberg's head on that one. He's able to corral it, and now Brookings starting here at their own 20. And once again, we talked about it, this offense just trying to get something going here in the late stages of this first half.
Josh Boelter said it. Kickoff coverage team brought it. Bring in the lumber. Brought to you by Mead Lumber here on KYNT and KYN TV. Check our social media channels on Monday. See that play again. Handoff off the right side. Gains about 1, if anything. So now 2nd and 9 from the Brookings 21-yard line for the Bobcats, who, as we've been talking about all night, Josh, still looking for their first down.
Yeah, and that was a simple, just trying to, and maybe a gain of 1 on that play, but just trying to get that off the right side there. But the problem was there's the Yankton Bucks sitting in that hole. I didn't quite see what number it was, but the running back there for Brookings had to adjust to that and really wasn't able to find anything. Tried to bounce it back inside, but like we said, not much there.
Looks like Gus Armenta back there in the backfield again as the deep back. Hunter's going to go under center here. Really tight formation here for the Bobcats. And that's a handoff up the gut to Armenta. Tries to go off the left side, and Austin Conway is probably lucky that it was a gang tackle because he was trying to suplex Armenta, and that would have been marching some yards off against the defense.
That would have been the first down of the evening for the Bobcats, but Yankton once again doing a good job stifling this run. Nothing up front. We talked about it. Brookings, they have a total of 2 rushing yards, Brayden. There's just not much there.
That was a loss of 1 on that play. So 3rd and 10 from their own 20. Conway still out there on the field. Chase Platt was in there with him on that tackle, among others. The Bucks have really been flowing to the ball tonight. Similar formation here, different running back in the backfield for Brookings. Receiver Item goes in motion, fakes the handoff, bootleg right side, Huntemer looking downfield, lets it go at the line to gain, but in and out of the hands of the receiver. Cale Hazelhorst was in there on coverage.
And I thought maybe initially off the boot there was a guy open in the flat, but still Huntemer didn't get it there in time, and Yankton did a good job of getting down there, flying to that, and then shutting everything else down. And another 3 and out for this Yankton defense. They have been perfect here in this first half. That's the only way to put it. They have not given up a first down, and now they get the ball back. And Owen Eisen is standing about his own 47 right now. And the crazy part is if he caught a fair catch right there, that'd be the second deepest field position that Yankton's had here this evening.
Johnson gets this one away, and for one of the first times tonight, not from his own end zone. Eisen starts left, cuts back right, has some space to run into, beats a couple blockers to the edge, and he is out of bounds. Runs out on his own accord around the 39-yard line. Referee went down as well. A flag on the play as well, Josh. So we'll see if this is moving further away or closer to the end zone.
Yeah, this is going to move Yankton back. And a block in the back there at the very end of that play. I know you're trying to make a play, but Owen was very clearly going out of bounds there, Brayden. That's why I try to show a little bit of restraint. But, yeah, you're going to get a block in the back call here at the very end of it. So it should put Yankton right at about the 49 of Brookings, I guess. 48, yeah, right there of Brookings here to start this drive.
Still in plus territory despite the penalty. That really describes the Yankton just situation tonight. They're always on Brookings' half of the field. 1st and 10 for Bestie and the Bucks. Trips right, ball placed at the right hash. We're under 2:30 to play in the first half. Yankton leads 14-0. Bestie will take the chest-high snap, look right, and now just throw this one away while under pressure. LaCroix was in the area enough to not warrant a flag.
Yeah, looking for something there. Not really anything open. Bestie feels some pressure, throws it away. Good job by the senior quarterback. I like to see Yankton maybe try to run the ball here, Brayden, on this down. They have it on the 48. They have all their timeouts as well as 2 minutes. Plenty of time here. The full playbook really should be open in this spot.
2nd and 10 Bucks. Still working from that right hash at the Brookings 48-yard line. Yankton leads the Bobcats 14-0. A delayed handoff there to Sedlacek. Let the blockers get downfield and let the secondary get into pass coverage, and that's a gain of 9. Brings up 3rd and 1 for the Bucks from the Brookings 39.
It's a really good play call in that spot. They're thinking pass, execute the draw perfectly, and there was really no one there. Sedlacek gets a nice gain of 9 on that play.
Doubles formation here for the Bucks. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Running back in the backfield is Sedlacek. They'll give it to him again. He got him this far, but he won't get him any farther. He's brought down, maybe even short of the line line of scrimmage there. So 4th and a long 1 or a short 2 here for the Bucks.
Yeah, and I think the decision here looks like Yankton's thinking about punting, Brayden, from the 39. I'd think about this way your defense is playing. Give them a shot. I'd consider taking a timeout here and maybe think about going for this, but Yankton looking like they're going to punt here in this situation. Pretty content with where they're at in this game.
Villanueva's been good at placing them this year, but if it goes into the end zone for Liam, it's only about a net gain of 19 yards in field position. Be 1st and 10 at their own 20 for Brookings. Still waiting on the punt. Villanueva takes a bit of a high snap and launches this one up in the air. Lets his kick coverage team get plenty of time to get there. Bounces at the 1 and into the end zone. Will Sager and Madden McQuaid were near it, but Villanueva a little upset with himself that he let it go in, but he still gets a high five there from his special teams coordinator, Brady Hale.
Yeah, and what that is there is basically Yankton saying, hey, we literally haven't given up a first down yet. We dare you to try to score on us. Kind of thing. They also know they get the ball first next half. They also know they still have 3 timeouts in their back pocket. Maybe they get a couple stops here, nothing gained. Maybe you take a few timeouts. We'll see, or maybe Yankton's content knowing if they can get another stop here, they go up 2 touchdowns into the half, get the ball first to start.
And if I missed it there while you were talking, Josh, you get the ball to start the second half too. You did mention that. Okay.
Only like 2 or 3 times.
Listen.
To the point where I'm like, are you making fun of me for saying it?
There's a lot of things that Yankton has going in their favor right now, but here's a pass from Huntemer looking deep down the left side. Drotsman in coverage, and that's too far for anybody to catch up to. Intended target on the play was number 19, Kingston Schneider, the junior wide receiver. He stands 5'11", 160. And no, that's just my brain shuts off sometimes, and I have to make sure you said something.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But how good is it, Brayden, to see number 15 back in the secondary? They've tested him a couple times deep. He's done a really good job in coverage there, and really nothing to get there for Huntemer on that pass.
Was it Gene Upshaw back in the day for the Raiders who used to have the club?
Oh, wow.
Or was Gene Upshaw an offensive lineman?
You're really testing my knowledge there. I don't think so. I think Upshaw might have been a lineman.
Handoff off the right side here for Brookings. And speaking of linemen, they open the hole up for Armenta for the first down of the day for the Bobcats. It comes with just over 40 seconds to play here in the second quarter. 1st and 10 Brookings from their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, like you said, in that play right there, that almost matches their total yards of the day before that. They only have 16 yards of total offense, 12 of it on that play. And they're going to take a timeout here, Brayden, maybe see if they can get something going before the half.
Yeah, timeout taken. We'll take it with them. It's brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Be wiser and go with Kaiser. It's Kaiser Heating and Cooling in Yankton. We're back in 30 seconds with more Yankton Bucks football. They lead Brookings 14-0.
Feeling like your energy's taken a time out? Do you suffer from poor sleep, joint pain, irritability, hot flashes, or brain fog? It's time for your comeback. At Glow Aesthetics Med Spa, our Bio-T hormone replacement therapy can help restore energy, balance, and vitality so you can feel your best anywhere life takes you. It starts with a simple consultation and lab work. Then we customize your treatment to fit you. Don't sit on the sideline of life. Feel your best. Book your consultation today at theglowsd.com. That's theglowsd.com.
Probably helps if I bring my mic down. 1st and 10 for Huntimer and the Brookings Bobcats. Pistol formation, chest high snap, has no time to throw, and Edley Amaro just took basically every yard that Brookings has away on a big sack from the 32-yard line down to about the 16. I'm actually going to say he started tackling him at the 19, but huge sack there for Edley Amaro. By our count, his second of the season.
And we talked about him getting home. Hasn't had a ton of success doing that, but has been getting pressure all season. He gets that sack there, and that's effectively going to end this first half.
Huntimer with one more play for Brookings as the play clock or game clock has expired at half, and that's an incomplete pass. Intended target on the play was number 80, Jude Mendering, the sophomore wide receiver, but he could not bring it in. And that is going to do it for the first half of play. Yankton leads Brookings 14-0 here at Crane Youngworth Field. A good bounce back from last week's rough effort out in Sturgis.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you couldn't ask anything better from this Yankton defense, Brayden. They gave up one first down, and as soon as they did, Edley Amaro wipes that out with a sack. A pitch perfect first half defensively, and then the offense, they had their opportunities and got some points out of them. A couple field goals from Kevin Ortiz was big. Then you get that touchdown from Tate to Owen towards the end of that first half, and this Yankton team playing really well here tonight.
When we come back, we'll have your halftime report here on KYNT and KYN TV. Look at the first half stats, replay some highlights, and then come back with your second half of action. Yankton leads Brookings 14-0 at the break here on KYNT, KYN TV.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
At Vision Care Associates, we're always improving our technology for the health of your eyes. With OptiMap dilation-free exams, you get a comprehensive view of your retina without the need for dilation eye drops. It's quick, easy, and best of all, it keeps your day interruption-free. OptiMap captures a detailed image of your eye, helping to detect any problems. No blurriness, no discomfort, just clear, precise results. Book your OptiMap exam now.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division.
A couple days ago, a teacher came into the UPS store to print some worksheets for her classroom. As we were printing, she asked if we could help her design and print a custom banner for her school's upcoming event. Yes, we can. At the UPS store in Yankton, where for over 8 years we've been serving educators, businesses, and community members with all kinds of printing solutions. Stop by today and let us assist with your next project, and be sure to ask about our shipping services or current print specials.
Welcome back in here on KYNC, KYNCV. It's your halftime report here, brought to you by Avera. Visit Avera.org today. Josh, was an impressive first half for this Yankton Bucks defense, and you'll see just how impressive it was when we go to our halftime stat recap. But just initial thoughts here coming into the halftime break. Yankton up 14-0, and it feels like more or less they've been able to do whatever they want.
Yeah, defensively, Brayden, you couldn't have asked for a better game in the first half other than maybe get a turnover or two. But if you look at this Yankton defense, first off, 3 sacks. 3 sacks. They allow a total of 16 yards. They gave up 1 first down. It was a 12-yard run at the end of the first half, and that's immediately wiped out by a sack. So this defense played perfect in the first half. A really good game plan from Coach Olson and company on the defensive side of the football. Coach Muth obviously getting credit in there as the head coach. But, yeah, great game plan and defense that is executing really well here in the first half.
There was only 1 touchdown in that first half for either team. 2 field goals for Kevin Ortiz, a 36-yarder and a 39-yarder for him. But the 1 touchdown, Tate Bestie was able to find Owen Isis in the back of the end zone. We're going to take a look at that again here on our Vision Care Associates replay as Bestie rolled out to his right, looked like he was going to turn upfield and become a runner for a second, but sees Isis flash open, back line, touchdown. The lone touchdown of the game for either team right now. But a big one as Yankton leads 14-0 over Brookings. They were able to get a 2-point conversion after that to boost their lead from 6 to 14.
Yeah, and leading 14-0, that's huge. The way your defense is playing, if you can give them a 2-score lead, you're sitting pretty comfortable. Now, of course, you don't want to sit in comfort. We'll get into that as this halftime continues. But, yeah, a really good first half and a balanced first half, Brayden. What I liked from Yankton most, even though it didn't necessarily yards per carry-wise have the most success, Jason Lachek ran the ball 18 times in that first half. That's something that clearly was made an objective or something they wanted to achieve this half. Line up, run the football, and they're doing that. And it's something that is, one, making this clock run and things like that, especially just lining up, running the football, and you're seeing that here you saw that in the first half.
We're going to take a break, come back in 3 minutes, and look at your halftime stat recap here on KYNT and KYNTV. We're back after this break with some halftime stats.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Stay healthy this season with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. They are hosting flu shot clinics every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4:30, from October 7th through November 11th, and Saturdays, October 11th and November 8th from 9 a.m. to noon. Walk-ins are welcome, or schedule your appointment online at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. Don't wait. Protect yourself and your loved ones today with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
FNBO is the Great Big Small Bank.
And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
Are you on track to retire? I'm Adam Boelter, a certified financial planner with Vantage Financial, born and raised in Yankton, South Dakota. My team and I pride ourselves on building trust through clear, honest advice tailored to your unique goals. From retirement planning to smart tax strategies, we'll create a personalized plan to help you feel confident and secure about your financial future. Visit vfplanning.com or search Adam Boelter, Vantage Financial, to schedule a 15-minute call today.
Vantage Financial Partners is a registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of Vantage by the SEC, nor does it indicate that Vantage has attained a particular level of skill or ability.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? Or singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40. Or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
For coverage you can count on, call Brendan Hansen or Brandon Tykrow in Yankton today.
Welcome back in here on KYNT and KYNTV. It's your halftime report brought to you by Avera. And let's look at your halftime stat recap brought to you by Mayor Signs. Mayor Signs offers all types of signs, exterior and interior signage, fleet wraps, digital signs, and much more. Mayor Signs, consider the possibilities today. They're on 4th and Broadway in Yankton. And Josh, look at these halftime stats. It really puts into perspective the utter dominance of the Yankton defense. 2 yards passing, 14 yards rushing, and their longest run is 12 yards for the Brookings Bobcats.
Yeah, and that was towards the very end of the first half, kind of on an outside run there, Brayden. This defense was spectacular. The special teams as well. Liam Villanueva pinning Brookings back twice, once on a kickoff, once on a punt. And then we talk about Kevin Ortiz as well. He's got a couple field goals. The defense and the special teams have been fantastic tonight.
New season long for Kevin Ortiz with a 39-yarder. Hit a 36-yarder as well that got the scoring going early in the first half. Yankton's side of things, very balanced. Darn near perfectly balanced. 70 yards passing, 71 yards rushing, 141 yards, and 14 points on the board.
Couldn't get that extra yard, huh? No, I'm just kidding. No. But yeah, look, and that's something that I can appreciate about what they're doing in the first half. Maybe the yard totals weren't there like we've seen some halves, but I think one thing I've appreciated more than in any game I've seen this season for the Bucs is they're sticking with the run, right? They're sticking with it. They know their defense is playing well. Let's run the ball, run the clock, get some positive plays. They know this Brookings defense is pretty good. We talked about number 2 in 11 AA coming into the night, only giving up under 14 points a game, right? 13.8, second fewest behind T. They know what they're facing here tonight, and they know they're getting yards when they can. But, yeah, like you said, perfectly balanced, right about at it. So Yankton, obviously they're going to get the ball first to start this next half and looking to add more points to that.
Something to think about, too, with the, I don't want to say lack of yardage, but maybe the subdued yardage numbers that you might be usually used to at the halftime break. Yankton's been working with about half a field for most of the possessions today. Their average starting position, I believe, is past the 50-yard line in Brookings territory.
Yeah, I think they've had 4 or 5 drives in plus territory. I believe 5 is the number. So they've had the ball in really good spots here. And yeah, you're right. That might affect those yardage totals here tonight. But I think Yankton will take that if they can walk out of here with a win.
14-0 your score line here on KYNT and KYNTV, but we'll also take a look at score lines around Class 11 AA in the local area with your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Top Notch Window Cleaners. Window cleaning for commercial or residential. Let Top Notch Window Cleaning brighten your days. Josh, we'll go to you for what's going on around 11 AA.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and start up near Sioux Falls in the great town of T area. They're the number 2 team in the 11AA, and we'll see them next week here in Yankton. Well, they're about to go down, Brayden. They're down 15-7 to Watertown now with a minute left. Keep in mind, they start early over there at some of their games, so it looks like T is positioned to fall in that game. As for a top 5 matchup in 11AA, it's Pierre hosting Sturgis, who we saw last week. Pierre's kind of taking care of business there with a couple minutes left in the first half. That game's 23-0. Pierre. As for the number 1 team in 11AA, Huron, they're up 13-0 against Aberdeen with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. That one at Aberdeen. Other scores, Spearfish up 49-0 on Douglas, and then Brandon Valley, AAA matchup, and number 1 Brandon Valley is facing Mitchell. That score is 49-0.
And looking at some other local scores, teams outside of 11AA, but in the surrounding area in the southeast corner of South Dakota, as well as the northeast corner of Nebraska. Starting on the South Dakota side of the river, Avon leads Scotland Minnow 48-6 in the second quarter at last check. Bonham currently up 14-0 on Platte Geddes. Platte Geddes is the number 5 team right now in the class. Bonham receiving votes. That's in the second half of play. Centerville currently shutting out Gayville-Vollen at the half, 30-0. Freeman Academy, the number 1 team in their class, up 48-0 on Irene Wakanda. That's still in the second quarter. Vermilion now down 18-0 at the halftime break to Tri-Valley, and Yankton obviously leads Brookings here in our South Dakota scores. Across the river in Nebraska, it was just loaded. Now I'm getting the spinning wheel of death, Josh.
Oh no, the wheel of doom.
I do. Memory serves me right. Cedar Catholic was up big on Ponca in one of those games. That's our Riverfront Sports Northeast Nebraska game of the week as well. So there's some brand synergy. Bloomfield up 28-8 on Niobrara Verdigris. Crofton up 30-6 on Wausau Osmond. Hardington Newcastle up 16-0 on Boyd County, and Wynot 45-0. They lead Winside. That Crofton scoreline is big because Wausau Osmond undefeated on the year at 6-0, ranked 4th in the class. The Crofton Warriors kind of flexing their muscle in that matchup.
Yeah, they're looking really good to start this year, Brayden, and obviously we're over halfway through, but they're looking great and excited to see what they can do when it comes to playoff time.
Yeah, we're all working towards the postseason here. Yankton looking to get back on track after a loss last week to Sturgis. They're through the first 2 quarters, they're on that track. They need to keep it going. They lead 14-0 at the halftime break. When we come back, we will have your second half of action here on KYNT and KYN-TV. Yankton to receive the kickoff from Brookings when we return.
If you've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury, check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation.
Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet.
From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back.
Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
Now located on Summit Street across from the high school.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, right here in Yankton, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Rhonda and her team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Rhonda Westland, it's easy to switch and save. Just give her a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Turning 65 or new to Medicare? Navigating your options can feel overwhelming, but we're here to help. At Missouri River Associates, we make it easy to find the right plan for your health and budget. From Medicare supplements, Advantage plans, and prescription drug coverage, we'll guide you every step of the way. Plus, our services are completely free. Call Missouri River Associates today, 665-6885. Let us help you find peace of mind and the coverage you deserve.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
Welcome back in here, KYNT, KYN-TV. We're live from the broadcast booth, brought to you by Fairfield by Marriott and Holiday Inn Express in Yankton. You can get great rates and flexible reservation changes with either hotel here in Yankton. The Bucks kicked off to start this game. Didn't allow a single point, allowed only one first down defensively, and put 14 points of their own up on the board. So they got a chance to add to their lead when we come back in the second half. When they come back in the second half. We're locked in now for the second half as both teams getting ready to retake the field here for the opening kickoff of half number 2. 24 minutes down, Josh. 24 minutes to go.
Yeah, and if you're Yankton, I think the game plan stays the same. Control the clock offensively and shut things down defensively. Just keep the same game plan. I think you're looking pretty good in this one. And like you said, Yankton getting the ball here to start. If they can get up 3 scores the way their defense is playing, that's going to be a tough thing to come back from if you're the Bobcats.
Yeah, Bobcats defense wants that stop out of the break. And Yankton, we've seen their special teams create some magic. Tegan LaCroix's got a kick return for touchdown this year. Miles Drotzman has one too, but he hasn't been returning kicks since he's started to have putting the club basically on his hand. But Yankton special teams has been a delight. Your third quarter of action today brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance and First Chiropractic Center. Johnson the kick, and driven kick, angled and bounces out of bounds. So good starting field position again for Yankton, even on the kickoff. It'll be first and $10 from their own, say, 35-yard line, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe the 35, yeah. Yes, and what's crazy about that, Brayden, the second worst field position the Bucs have had today. That's how good that went in the first half and how good the defense really set some things up. But now, it's Yankton offense. We talked about 140 yards in the first half, Brayden. They're looking to add some more to that here and try to go up 3 scores.
See if they come out aggressive early or if they play it safe. It's a handoff up the middle to Sedlacek. He plows forward to the 39-yard line, so 2nd and 6 for the Bucs from their own 39. On pace with a 4-yard gain.
And we talked about it, Brayden, 18 carries in the first half for Jay Sedlacek, really getting the lion's share of the workload for this offense in general tonight. And saw another one here to start it. He's right at 19 here on this evening.
Split backfield here for Yankton. Sedlacek on the left, LaCroix on the right of the quarterback Bestie. LaCroix is going to wrap around in motion, and the snap never came. Looks like we're going to get a false start here against the Yankton offensive line.
Yeah, I think they're going to technically nail Chase Sedlacek for that one. But that's on the offensive line, like you said. That's when the ball didn't just get snapped. But like I said, Jace moves, they're going to call it on him. But yeah, that is on the offensive line.
Brings up 2nd and 11 now, so wipe away that 4-yard gain plus another yard. Trips right here for the Bucs. They're lined up at their own 39. Or 34, excuse me. Bestie looks right side, has Cale Hazelhorst at the 40. He spins forward. Ball came out at the end, but he was already down on the play. Gets to the 41, so a gain of 7 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4 for Yankton.
And that's just a simple completion once again. We talked about a couple of those in the first half. Cale just kind of sits after about 5-6 yards and gets a nice gain on that play on an easy throw.
Bestie in the shotgun with Sedlacek on his left hip pocket in the backfield. Trips right of the formation for Yankton. It is the short side of the field as they're on the right hash, moving left to right as you see it and hear it here on KYNT. Has some time. Bestie goes to Hazelhorst, high points the ball at about the 47 and brings it in. Move those chains for Yankton, and they're knocking on the door of Brookings territory again. 1st and 10. They're actually going to give them the 48 on that one.
And good job by the Yankton offense. They overcome that false start, get a couple quick completions, both to Cale Hazelhorst for a first down there, and move the sticks to get that first down of this drive.
2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. And it's a quick pass out left side to Owen Eidsness. Tried to make the first man miss. Heads up play by the Brookings defense on that screen out to Eidsness. Gain of about 1. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that's a really good open field tackle there, especially when it's mano-a-mano there between the receiver and the defensive back, making the play when he needed to.
It's a guy whose name we've called tonight, not for a reason he probably appreciated. Mason Mathis in there on the tackle. Mathis was the one that had to make a late adjustment on a kickoff earlier, and it feels like half the time Yankton's done motion pre-snap, Josh, we're getting a false start flag.
Yeah, and that's another snap infraction there, Brayden. That's something that Yankton's kind of frustrated with here. You saw Tate with a little bit of frustration on that one, the quarterback, but yeah, that's something they're going to be harping on in practice this next week.
2nd and long now for the Bucks. About 13 to go for Yankton. So actually, they gave Owen a gain of 2 on that screen earlier. Way to fight for extra yards. 2 receivers each side of the set. LaCroix goes in motion left to right. Bestie takes the snap. Has some time. Looks left side. Has Owen Eidsness falling out of bounds. And they say he brought it in on the Brookings half of the 50. Mark him at the 49. So 1st and 10. Yankton once again today into Bobcats territory.
Yeah, Brayden, not to correct you. That's actually going to be 3rd and 7. Just giving you because they had that penalty.
Did I say first down?
Yes, you did.
Whoops.
Gotcha. But either way, though, make it 3rd and more manageable there here for the Bucks.
The old noggin's on point today. Bestie cuts upfield, tries to scramble. He is smothered from behind. Gain of about 1.5 on that one. Good defensive effort there from Blake Cannigator to bring him down. And that's going to bring on Liam Villanueva to punt.
And Brayden, I'm going to tell you right now, that's the longest 15-yard drive I think I've seen in my life. 18 yards. That took a solid 3.5, 4 minutes off the clock. And Yankton just kind of running things down here and content with punting.
It'll be about 3.5 by the time Villanueva punts, under 8:40 to go. Yankton leads 14-0 here in the 3rd quarter. Villanueva gets that one away. Another high punt. Going to bounce at the 1. Doesn't get the backspin on it, but it's going to pin him at the 20. So 1st and 10 Brookings from their own 20-yard line. Still some of the best field position that Brookings has had today to start things off.
Right, and that's saying something about how good special teams has been here for Yankton. They've been able to pin this Brookings offense really deep, and it's kind of affected how they've had to call their game and how they've played their game. And you see that in the totals there. 1 first down in the first half, a total of like 16 yards, just nothing going for this offense as they're coming out here in I form, Brayden, to start the 2nd half.
1 receiver split out wide left. He's on an island with Miles Drotzman, but power everywhere else, as Josh said. And it will be a handoff up the gut out of this power I formation. Armenta shakes off the initial tackle, gains about 4 on the play, brings up 2nd and 6 from the Brookings 24.
Yeah, not a bad little run on that one. I think it might have been Chase Platt. I thought I saw that almost broke through on that initially and got an arm in there, was able to slow down the back, but Armenta was still able to get a nice little 4-yard carry on that play.
Now the deep back is Otto Eidsness here in the I formation. Hunter takes the snap. Might have bobbled it for a second there. Handoff to Eidsness. Stutter step cuts back inside, gets away from the tackle, and he is brought down, but it's for a first down. Pretty big gain on the play there for Otto Eidsness and the Brookings Bobcats. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Yeah, and that just broke contain there for Yankton on that play. A nice gain of about 10 on the run. And all of a sudden, maybe this Brookings offense finding something. We saw this happen to Yankton the last time they were at home, where they kind of shut things down right early in that run game for most of the first half, and all of a sudden the second half, Pierre found more success running the ball. Maybe that's the theme here for Brookings, but Yankton looking to adjust here as they've given up a couple nice runs in these last 2 plays.
High formation again. Handoff to the fullback up the gut. Almost a miscommunication for a second between him and Huntemer, as Huntemer kind of bounced off of him on that carry. I believe that was number 22 on the carry, Jay Harris.
Yeah, the fullback getting some love there on a simple dive, on a fullback dive on that one, and getting a couple yards on that play, and just trying to get something once again going on this run game for Brookings as they're lining up in I form again, Brayden.
They switched the receiver to the wide side of the field now as well, so keep an eye on him. I form again for Huntemer. He will hand it off up the gut again to Eidsness. Has some blocks off the right side. Gets near the line to gain, and now a first down. He's still going. Otto Eidsness carrying Bucks on his back. Gets to the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 Brookings. This I form is working. The Bucks are going to have to adjust.
Yeah, and if you're Yankton, you just got to bring the man down. I don't care how hard he's chugging on that. It's a heck of an effort, but you got multiple black jerseys on him. You got to find a way to get him down, especially when he carries you for another 6-7 yards.
And a little more beef onto the field. Carter Boomsma and Miles Drotzman check out. Carson Krall checks in along with Peyton Eustace.
They're going to that Wildcat, Brayden.
Yeah, Bergen Tetzloff with the power cat here off the right side. Hops over a defender who went down, and that's a gain of about 8 on the play. From the 50-yard line down to the 43, so give him 7, actually.
Yeah, now if you're Yankton, you got, like you said, you got to adjust here. You don't just go from giving up nothing to all of a sudden you're giving up 5-6 yards, even more a carry. There's something different happening here for Brookings. So they've just lined up and run power, and you're seeing it again in that kind of that power cat, wildcat formation here.
And Tetzloff off the left side of the offensive line this time. He's wrapped up, much shorter gain, but it's enough for the first down. 1st and 10 at the Yankton 40-yard line, and Brookings with signs of life on offense for the first time tonight.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're moving the chains and the offensive line's getting some push here. This is nothing but old school power football. That's all we've seen on this drive. You mentioned it. We could see maybe some play action out of this at some point, but right now it is line up, it's run the football right up the gut.
Sticking with this power out of the Wildcat. A lot of beef off the left side of the line. Now they switch to the right. Tetzloff going to take it up the gut again, and he powers through, almost broke away. Gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 from the Yankton 31. Brookings is just moving down the field with this formation.
Yeah, moving, power, power, power. We're just going to keep saying it. They've gone from I form to this Wildcat. It's really literally all they've ran on this drive, but even if it's simple, if it's working, it's effective, keep going with it. And once again, in the Wildcat.
Tetzloff might be getting tired. Had his hands on his hips. He goes off the right side, and that's the shortest run so far. It's enough for the first down, but he only got about 1.5.
Yeah, but enough to move the chains. And do you think instead of the Wildcat, can we call it the Bobcat formation tonight? I don't know why that just clicked for me, but I think we should.
Too many cats.
Too many cats.
It's like my apartment at home.
What do you at, 3 now?
3.
3.
Trace.
First and 10 from the 29.
A lot of time running off this clock, though, but if you're Brookings, that's okay. You're lining up, you're running the football, and you're getting something going, really, for the first time on offense tonight.
Tetzloff again in this power formation. Shifts extra bodies to the left side. Tetzloff runs off that left side. He gets past Chase Platt in the backfield. He is upended and brought down. Gain of 6 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 4 from the Yankton 24-yard line.
Yeah, once again, though, another nice run. That time they switched up a little bit, and like you said, bounce it off the left side for a nice gain there. And this Brookings offense, once again, just marching down the field emphatically.
We talked about Jace Sedlacek getting his own personal ice bath. The second ice tub goes to Bergen Tetzloff today.
Absolutely.
Shifting guys around again, still in this power. Tetzloff going straight ahead this time. Gets near the line to gain. They might mark him half a yard short. Down to the 20.5-yard line. On the door of the red zone for the first time tonight for Brookings.
Yeah, absolutely marching down the field. I'm surprised they didn't try this more in the first half, the way it's working. They only tried it once. There's a bit of a wild snap, or a high snap on that kind of blew the play up. But now let me show you my surprise face. They're running it again here on 3rd and 2.
Imagine if they throw out of this, Josh. As Tetzloff lined up again. It's power up the middle. Tetzloff met at the line of scrimmage, but just enough for the first down and into the red zone for Brookings. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. First trip to the Midwest Insurance Agency red zone tonight for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and Brayden, by my count, that is the 7th time they've ran out of Wildcat formation here on this drive alone.
Easton Feeser checking into the game now for Yankton. They're rotating out linebackers, too. These guys are getting hit and getting popped as well.
And Brayden, this is a 6+ minute drive going on 7 minutes here. What a drive from the Bobcats.
We're under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Yankton leads 14-0. Brookings trying to change that. Tetzloff up the middle. Not a lot of space there. Able to get through on the second effort, though. They had him at the line of scrimmage, Josh, but he somehow still sneaks away for 5 yards.
Teleported, more like it. I don't know how he got through that to Tetzloff, but he did. Just kind of fell forward. We talked about how his big frame at 6'5", 235. was able to fall forward on that one and get a few positive yards.
Might get a more traditional play here as Bergen Tetzlaff gets half a gallon of water to himself on the sideline.
And you got to imagine going right back to I form here on 2nd and 6.
Hunterberg under center. Boomsma back out on the field as a corner. He's one-on-one, top of the formation. Hunterberg is going to hand it off the right side. That's Otto Eidsness. Has $5 on him. He's brought down right at the line to gain. And also right at the edge of the 10-yard line here. So potentially goal to go.
And Brayden, I'm just noticing here a lot of Yankton defenders on that play. We're waiting for Eidsness to come to them instead of just going and attacking. That's what you got to do on these run plays. You just got to go up and be physical. Yankton not doing on that one. But once again, right back to that Wildcat here on 3rd and short.
Tetzlaff up the gut, first down. And it's going to be goal to go for Brookings. And Edley Amaro very close to potentially getting a penalty there. Is the guy who was blocking him. He kind of whipped him down very close to when the whistle blew. And with under 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, Brookings has melted the game clock here at Crane Youngworth Field.
The entire 3rd quarter, Brayden. We talked about a 3.5-minute drive being impressive. My goodness, Brayden, this is an 8.5-minute drive here for Brookings.
If Brookings scores on this drive, it doesn't look like it's going to be in the east end zone, as with under 10 seconds to go, the Bobcats are going to let this go to the 4th quarter break. 14-0. Brookings with old school football is pounding away, but the Bucks still lead by 2 scores. Scoreboard update brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, and this quarter break brought to you by Conkling Distributing. Yankton leads 14-0. We're back in 1 minute with the 4th quarter here at Crane Youngworth Field.
Does anyone in your family have macular degeneration? At Vision Care Associates, we are dedicated to delivering the highest standard of eye care, utilizing the latest medical advancements to protect and improve your vision. That's why we offer ZX Pro, a new technology that measures the risk for macular degeneration. ZX Pro is a test used to assess macular health before signs of macular degeneration even begin. Be proactive and schedule an appointment.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Stay healthy this season with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. They are hosting flu shot clinics every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4:30, from October 7th through November 11th, and Saturdays, October 11th and November 8th from 9 a.m. to noon. Walk-ins are welcome, or schedule your appointment online at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. Don't wait. Protect yourself and your loved ones today with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
Welcome back to Crane Youngworth Field, and don't rub your eyes. It's not the 1960s out there. Brookings is just running power offense right now, and it is working against Yankton.
Yeah.
They melted, I think, the last 9 minutes of that 3rd quarter.
8 minutes and 38 seconds, I believe. I'd have to look at the exact time, but yeah, it's been a crazy drive here, and that's going to be an offsides on the Yankton defense.
Yeah, and that's going to give them a couple more yards. And the no there was for extracurriculars after the play. An offensive lineman got knocked to his rear end.
Well, I thought he pulled a Cotton from Nebraska is what it looked like to me. I thought he fell.
Which Cotton brother?
Yeah, whichever one played offensive line for Nebraska.
Ben was a tight end, wasn't he?
Yeah, it might have been Sam.
Oh, so many Cottons.
One of the Cottons.
Gotta love Nebraska football. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line now here for Bergen Tetzlaff and the Brookings offense. He goes outside of his power this time, and he's into the end zone for 6. It has worked all night long, and now Brookings is on the board. I say all night long, all second half.
Yeah, I'm kind of shook right now. What a drive from Brookings, Brayden. They went from not being able to get anything going to literally going on a 9-minute drive to start the second half and making this a 1-score game.
That's like when the old beater that's been in your family since the 80s somehow makes the trip across the state. You just kind of shocks you out of nowhere after being broken down on the front lawn.
Yeah.
Extra point is up. Extra point is good. And that's just well-executed offense from Brookings. Great halftime adjustment by head coach Carter Gordon and his squad. Let's look at that touchdown run again by Bergen Tetzlaff on your Vision Care Associates replay. It's just this power formation, stacking beef off the left side of the offensive line. Tetzlaff takes it, and for the first time it feels like the entire drive doesn't plunge between the tackles. Bounces it outside, gets in the end zone for 6. Extra point's good, and Josh, It's a one-score game, 14-7. Yankton up here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm just shook because, Brayden, we talked about it. That was the equivalent of it being a running clock in a 30.5-point game, except it's not. It's a 7-point game. They literally, like we said, got the ball with about 8:30 left in that third quarter and just ran it down the field. Every single play on that drive, running the football, an impressive effort from Brookings there and getting something going. Now, though, Brayden, I don't know if they're going to have the time to be able to do that again. That's something where it worked once. Going to have to find a way to get some kind of stop here. But now if you're Yankton offense, Tate Bestie and company, you've been off the field for a long time. You've only had one drive in this second half. Got to find a way to get something going. Got to find a way to get some points here, whether that's 3 or whether that's 7. Got to find a way to get points.
Does Yankton go for some gamesmanship and go on a long drive of their own, or do they try to hit quickly, go up 2 scores, and kind of negate the ability of the long drive to win you a game for Brookings?
Right, and that's one of those where Yankton's just going to have to find a way, like we said, get some points, whether that's 6 or 3, as we got a little squib kick here to about the 25.
Squib kick, potentially trying to get possession back for Brookings. Carson Krall fields it, and he's brought down at about the 33, 34-yard line, and players have to be separated a little bit down there. It'll be 1st and 10, Yankton at their own 33. No flags fly, so nobody's going to have to go have a little timeout on the sideline.
Yeah, and it's a physical football game, Brayden. We talked about Yankton ran the ball over 20 times. Brookings might have ran the ball 50 times on that last drive alone. I'm kidding, but it felt like it. Either way, it's been a physical football game, and sometimes you'll see stuff like that.
2 receivers each side of the formation. 1st and 10 for Bestie on the right hash. A delayed handoff to Jason Sedlacek. We were talking about it at halftime. The halfback draw gets 5, maybe 6 on that one.
And really a new wrinkle at this point of the season for Yankton. We haven't really seen them run that much, if at all. They've ran it twice in this game, one for 9 yards and then another one right there for about 5 or 6. It's been effective when they went to it.
Looks like they're going to give him 6 on the play. 2nd and 4 here for the Bucks. Trips left here for Yankton. Bestie takes the snap. No delay on this handoff. Sedlacek dives forward, brought down at the 40-yard line. Gain of 1 brings up 3rd and 3 for Yankton. And now you have a decision to make on, do you keep the run going or do you put the ball in the air?
Whatever you got to do. I think if they throw it, expect Tate to roll out. You see that a lot. Maybe something in the flats, a hitch or something like that. But Yankton can't go 3 and out here with the way that Brookings offense just responded.
Officially under the 11-minute mark here at Crane Youngworth Field. Bestie takes the chest high snap. He's rolling left, looking downfield for some options. He'll let one go to Cale Hazelhorse, out of reach and incomplete. That stops the clock and keeps things rolling here in the fourth quarter. And Brookings is going to get the ball back after that long drive. And if they go on another, almost 9-minute drive, the Bucks would get the ball back in a tie game with under 2 to play.
Yeah, and that's something that's tough. You only burn about a minute or so off that clock. And this Yankton defense that just was on the field for almost 10 minutes there, they're coming right back on.
And it doesn't give the coaching staff a lot of time to solidify adjustments for their defense as well. Villanueva, though, with a beautiful punt, as it feels like he has had all night. Almost a miscommunication there between the punt returners for Brookings. So one punt returner called fair catch. The other one didn't. And the one that didn't call fair catch is the one who caught it. But I assume just to avoid confusion, they blew the play down.
Yeah, and that's one of those risks. You don't see that often, but when you have 2 punt returners back there, sometimes things like that can happen. But now Brookings with the ball on their own 16, and the way they just drove down the field in about 9 minutes of clock, 10:45 on the clock. We talked about not letting them have the ability to do that again. Well, now they have all the time in the world to do it if they want.
I formation again here in the secondary. The few defensive backs on the field have to stay disciplined. Here's a handoff up the middle. It's like Eisness again. He's stood up and now brought down. Gain of about 3 on the play. They might give him 4 to the 21. They're going to stay 20, so they gave him 3.
And that's much better to start this drive, right? They were getting 5-6 yards of carry on that. It was relatively, even though it took them 9 minutes, they were getting good chunks on those carries. That's much better on that play to start this drive. You know, it says 2nd and 5 on the down marker. It looks much further away than that from up here.
He looks closer to a 2nd and 7 here for the Bobcats. Handoff up the middle again, Eisness. And Madden McQuaid did not give up on the play. Initially wrapped up Eisness, was dragged a little bit, but does swing him down. Still a decent gain there for Eisness and the Bobcats. Brings up 3rd down from the 25-yard line. So 3rd and about 2.
Yeah, nice run there. Like I said, Mad McQuaid not giving up. It looked like Yankton was trying to get the strip there, and that's kind of why Isis, the runner, was able to keep going on that. Yankton wasn't really looking to wrap. They were looking to make a game-changing play there. Not able to come with it now. Wildcat formation here.
Bergen Tetzlaff up the middle, runs into a wall of bodies, both white and black jerseys. Brought down, though, for a first down. So 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line for Brookings. For those who may have tuned in late, Yankton is wearing their black jerseys tonight.
And once again, Brookings just saying tick, 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 tick. That clock running once again, taking their time, getting first downs. Here, another one to start this drive and just moving the football, running. And they have not attempted a pass here in the second half.
Haven't needed to.
No.
Held to 2 passing yards in the first half. Just wasn't a part of the game that was working. Handoff left side. Otto Eidsness again. Rumbles forward for about 4, so brings up 2nd and 6 now for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and Brayden, part of the problem is in that play, Yankton's running 3 down linemen rather wide. A lot of split in the middle, and Brookings is running 8 linemen, right? At any time that happens, a lot of times you're going to win the battle up front as an offensive line. Now Yankton going a 4-man front here, but either way, you look at it, there's 9 guys in the box that are going to be involved running this ball right up the middle outside of the quarterback and the receiver out wide.
A lot of movement for the Yankton defense here. Handoff off the right side, and going nowhere is Otto Eidsness. Easton Fieser puts a stop to the running brigade that Brookings has been on. Loss of about 2 there for the Bobcats. And a player is down on the field for Brookings as well. And while they have the timeout for the player injury, we're going to take it with them. Yankton leads 14-7 here with 8 to go in the 4th quarter. We're back in 1 minute here on KYNT, KYN TV.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Bobcat down on that play was Dylan Reynolds, the offensive lineman, 6'1", 265 for the senior. He was able to get back to his feet and walk off under his own power. They were checking his left leg, but good to see him be able to walk off the field there. As we now have the 4th quarter of play, 3rd and 8 here for Brookings, and they're in a power formation. Behind the sticks like this is not where they want to be when this run has been working. Play action here for Huntemer. Goes out left side to Bergen Tetzlaff, and incomplete. You had a feeling that was coming at some point, Josh, but not able to connect. 4th and 8, and the Bobcats are going to be forced to punt.
And that's something Yankton did so well in the first half, kind of blowing up at least one play, if not every play, and that kind of threw Brookings off, and they had to throw the ball. That time, all it took was one. You put them in a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 8, and they have to line up and throw, which we've seen they haven't had really any success doing. So Yankton doing a good job of responding there, getting off the field, and now if you're on offense, it's all about, once again, killing some clock and finding a way to get some points.
Punt is away. Eidsness calling off the dogs here. Just going to let this one bounce and roll. Takes a good bounce at about the 36 and rolls all the way to the 25. So 1st and 10, Yankton at their own 25-yard line here in the 4th quarter. 7:40 on the game clock. So Yankton has a little bit of time to work with here if they want to potentially go up 2 scores.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A little bit of time to work with here. You want to at least take half that clock off, right? You want to try to get it under 4 minutes, if not down to about that 3-minute mark if you can. Get some points here. Also, if possible, we talked about the quick 3-and-out. We've only seen this Yankton offense for, I think, a total of 4 minutes here in this second half, Brayden.
A long, sustained drive is where you chew clock is kind of the antithesis of what Yankton's offense is built on. They like to run plays every 10 to 15 seconds. Bestie takes the chest high snap, forced to roll out to his right, now gets it away and caught far sideline. Kale Hazelhorse, he stepped out of bounds on the turn, gets down to about the 29, so gained a 4 to bring up 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4 on that play. Once again, just trying to find something positive here. Haven't really had a chance to get anything going in the second half. That one, you obviously don't want to go to bounds, but at least you'll take the yards on that.
2nd and 6 from the 29.
2nd and 6 for the Bucks. A little over 7:30 to play here in the fourth quarter. Bestie in the shotgun, 2 backs in the backfield with him. It's LaCroix and Sedlacek. LaCroix's going to go in motion, and
they're going to get Jace on a jump.
A false start here against Yankton, one of many tonight for the Bucks offense. And that's going to back them up to 2nd and 11 from their own 24.
Yeah, and once again, now behind the 8 ball with that false start. Now, if you're Yankton here, do you go back to the pass, try to get some yards here? Do you go to the run, try to burn some clock? See what they decide here on 2nd and 11.
Clock is stopped right now, too, after Hazelhorse went out of bounds. So, shotgun formation, 2 receivers to each side. Bestie's going to roll to his left. Might have a pitch option with Sedlacek here. And like he wanted to fake it late, but gets brought down at about the 29-yard line. Pretty close to the 30 there, so gets those 5 yards back and brings up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and it's still a good run on that, obviously, but I think if he commits that, he maybe gets another yard or 2. He really waited the last second and wanted to pitch that, you can tell, but holds on to it, gets a nice little gain there, and makes it a 3rd manageable.
And Yankton slowing it down here. Still getting the call in quick from the sideline, but under 15 seconds on the play clock, and Yankton still not set at the line of scrimmage. Now under 10 to go on the play clock. Yankton knows that time is their friend right now with a 7-point advantage in the fourth quarter. Under 7 minutes to play. Bestie takes the belt high snap. Little swing pass out to Sedlacek, left side. He puts the shoulder down, and he stays in bounds as well. Gets down about 2 yards to the line to gain, and Yankton looks like they're going to play it safe here, bring Liam Villanueva on to punt.
Yeah, and Brookings is going to have just under 6 minutes here, Brayden, with 3 timeouts. They got a lot of time with those timeouts added. They want to try to run down the field here, try to get some points, obviously, to tie this game. They do their job. Haven't really given up much in the second half here with another 3 and out.
2 returners back for Brookings. We talked about it earlier on, caused some confusion. One returner called for a fair catch, the other didn't. Villanueva, low snap, but gets it out of the dirt and sends this one away, angled towards the near sideline. Fair catch called for and received at about the 27 there. On that return was Ben Schulte, a sophomore.
Ball plays at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, under 6 to play here, but we know this Brookings offense, they want to move slow and methodical. Yeah, 6 minutes seems a lot, but we saw them take a 9-minute drive, but also those 3 timeouts are in play as well here, Brayden. So Brookings, in reality, kind of sit with a lot of time on the clock here if they want to take it down here. If they can, we saw the Yankton defense adjust on that last drive too.
I formation here. The defensive backs still have to play discipline with potential play actions for Jones Hunnemer under center. Hunnemer will turn, hand it off to his running back, and Drace Gaskins wraps him up immediately. Whistle blows. Gaskins stood him up. Looked like he was trying to rip that ball away. Big TFL there for Big 64.
Yeah, and he might have had the play of the game there. Takes the running back down in the backfield. That's huge, Brayden.
Guy I talked to earlier this week for a Buck in the Headline interview, Josh, and after he wrapped Eisnes up in the backfield, wrapped him up, didn't celebrate, just got back to his spot. He told me on Wednesday he's not really a guy that likes to celebrate. He just likes to go out there. He likes to hit people and have fun, but he's not really a celebrator on the field.
He might after the game if that play holds up or if his score holds up.
And for the first time in the second half, Brookings is in the shotgun. Hunnemer takes the chest-high snap, and he is under duress in a hurry. Rolls out to his right, turns upfield, tries to find some space on the scramble. He is escorted out of the play by, I believe, Easton Feeser. It is Feeser on the tackle. And it'll bring up 3rd and 10 for Brookings. Back to the original line of scrimmage. No, actually short of the original line of scrimmage. They're going to say 3rd and 11 from the 26.
And credit to Huntemer on that play. I know Yankton did a good job with the pressure initially. I don't know how he got out of that. He was able to climb up and get a few yards and get out of bounds, but now this Yankton defense looking here to get off the field.
Huntemer in the shotgun again, 3 receivers left. It'll be a pass set here, and Huntemer looks over the middle, in and out of the hands of his intended target, Bergen Tetzloff, and that'll be 4th and 11 now for the Bobcats. And they are in just an interesting space here. 5 minutes, 2 seconds left in the fourth quarter. You're at 4th and 11 deep in your own territory. You have to punt, but this feels like potentially you might not see the ball again if Yankton has their way.
Yeah, but the way your defense is playing, I think you take those odds, you punt the ball here, and you play those chances. You do have 3 timeouts and 5 minutes left on the clock. I think this is the right decision to punt.
Punt is away here. Eidsness was pointing to the turf, letting people know to clear out, and a good Brookings bounce gets to the 31, still rolling to the 30.
Yeah, right on the 30 there, and we're going to see this Yankton offense under 5 to play. Haven't really had an opportunity to get anything going, but gone back-to-back 3-and-outs here in their last 2 drives. Just looking to get something going here, maybe burn some clock potentially. Like I said, if it were me, I'd be running the ball. 3 straight plays here. Either you burn some clock or you burn some timeouts. Either way, you burn something for Brookings here.
It's got pistol formation is what Yankton's going to line up in. 1 receiver split out wide to each side. So running back is Sedlacek, the deep back. He'll take the handoff, try to follow Edley Amaro, but great initial pressure there into the backfield for Phoenix Sather, the 6'1 senior linebacker. Just fired into the backfield and got him down to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line now for Yankton.
Yeah, nothing to gain there. Now if you're Yankton, I'm not snapping this ball until it's under 10 at least, if not under 5. Take some time, kill some clock if they're not using those timeouts.
And Yankton set with 20 seconds on the play clock. We'll see what happens when they snap it. Pistol formation for the Bucs. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. And at the 10-second mark on the play clock, that's when the snap comes. Handoff, Sedlacek up the middle, trying to follow his blockers. He spins forward, gets about 4 yards, maybe 4.5. Cuts the line to gain in half here for 3rd down from the Yankton 34.
Yeah, once again, I'd do the same thing. Even if you don't get the first down, what you're going to do here is you're either going to burn some clock or they're going to take one of those timeouts, which is huge in this spot. I think you just run the football again, keep the clock burning, or you burn a timeout.
The closest thing we get to a huddle for Yankton here is they are coming set with about 15 seconds on the play clock. Closest thing to a huddle is when the entire team is kind of standing near each other, looking at the signal from the sideline. 2 receivers each side. Bestie takes the snap with 6 seconds. Delayed handoff for Sedlacek. Cuts it out left side. First down for the Bucs. He dove forward at the end there to get to the 42-yard line. Check that. They're going to say his knees down at the 41, but still a first down. And like you said, Josh, huge for Yankton.
Huge, because now Brookings Brayden is going to have to start burning those timeouts here. It's at that point.
On the game clock, 40 seconds on the play clock. The clock will start on my ready.
I don't think it stopped initially when they were trying to set the chain, so I think they're going to run that back about 7 seconds here. So 3:25 on the clock instead of 3:18. But either way, Brayden, we talked about it. That's big. Clock's going to start running. And once again, now they're going to start taking those timeouts. So this is really your one opportunity if you don't get a first down to burn clock before they start using them. Run this one down under 10, maybe even under 5, and give Brookings as little time as possible if they get this football back.
We saw a methodical drive really turn the tempo for Brookings in the 3rd quarter. And now Yankton trying to answer with their own methodical drive. Against the grain a little bit of what the Bucs usually like to do. Here we are in your 4th quarter of play. Bestie takes the snap, handoff Sedlacek, and just dives into the heart of the defense again. We've seen that a lot tonight between the tackles. 4 yards on the carry. Brings up 2nd and 6. And it looks like Brookings just going to hold on to all their timeouts.
Yeah, now they're taking it.
I would say until maybe the 2-minute mark. There's not a 2-minute timeout in high school football, but maybe that was the mindset of take the first timeout near the 2-minute mark. They do take it here with 2:33 on the clock. We're going to take it with them. It's brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Be wiser and go with Kaiser. It's Kaiser Heating and Cooling in Yankton. We're back in 30 seconds.
I love 1919 root beer. It's the best over a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. My favorite is just ice cold 1919 poured over crunchy ice. It's so refreshing.
It's the creamiest root beer ever. 1919 root beer is the perfect treat. Brewed in small batches with only the finest ingredients. It's the creamiest, full-bodied, alcohol and caffeine-free draft root beer available. It's a taste tradition since, well, 1919.
Welcome back here on KYNT and KYN TV. 2 minutes, 43 seconds remain in the fourth quarter of play. Yankton leads Brookings 14-7 here at Crane Youngworth Field. This has been a interesting second half, to say the least, Josh. We've seen a little bit of this, a little bit of that, including a almost 9-minute drive that ended in points for Brookings between the end of the third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Chewed some clock on that drive and got the touchdown. But now Yankton trying to ice this one. They need a first down or two here in order to do that.
2nd and 6 for the Bucks. It was an opening gain of 4 for Jace Sedlacek. Bestie's going to take the snap, roll out right, use Sedlacek as a lead blocker, tried to cut back. Cannigators there as well as Sather. And that is a loss on the play of about 3, brings up 3rd and 9. I believe we're going to get another timeout here for Brookings. We will. It's brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Be wiser and go with Kaiser. We're going to keep it right here, though, in the fourth quarter of play, as with now 2:37 to go, 1 timeout remaining for Brookings. They're down 7, but they have Yankton kind of behind the sticks right now, behind where they want to be if they want to keep this drive moving.
Yeah, now if you're Yankton, you have 2 options here. You can either try to throw and ice the game, or you run it and you burn that last timeout for Brookings and you get the ball back. Depends on how you want to do this. I understand the logic behind passing, because if you get that first down, you ice it. But the way I look at it is, if you run the ball here, burn that timeout, not only, Brookings get the ball back, but they're going to have to do something they haven't done all day, Brayden, and that's throw the football. They literally have 1 completion here this evening. I think the right decision here would be run the football, burn that last timeout for Brookings, and punt it back.
We'll see what the Bucks come up with as they break their meeting with head coach Brady Muth and offensive coordinator Terry Hubert.
They're coming out an empty set here. That doesn't mean they won't send somebody in motion, but also with that, they've had some penalties on some of these motions as well.
Potentially the biggest play of the game so far here for the Bucks. Man in motion is Eidsness. It's a jet sweep to Eidsness, looking for space off the left side, has nowhere to cut it up, fires his feet near the sideline, trying to stay in bounds, gets pushed out, and that's huge because that stops the clock for Brookings as well on the going out of bounds.
Now, initially he said keep the clock running. Now maybe they're changing it, but
I think Muth was hoping that they blew the play dead because Eidsness got stood up before getting pushed out. But now 4th down from their own 47-yard line. That's 4th and about 6 here for the Bucks as well. Punter comes on, Liam Villanueva. Even with the 1 timeout remaining, Brookings might have to drive the length of the field here.
Yeah, that's risky on that. I think still going up the middle is the right play on that. But either way, Brookings gets that timeout here, and Liam's going to punt.
And Villanueva does get it away. Almost blocked there. Bounces about the 24. Takes a Yankton bounce to about the 15-yard line. They might say it went out at the 16. 1st and 10, deep in their own territory for Brookings. You got 1 timeout. You got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to get to the end zone to potentially tie this game. Or, I guess at that point, if you're feeling frisky, go for 2 and take the lead and win.
Yeah, if that's possible. But once again, we talked about, Brayden, they're going to have to do something they haven't been able to do today, and that's throw the football. They got to go darn near the length of the field here in about 2 minutes and 21 seconds with a timeout.
Officially need 85 yards to get into the end zone. 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. It's a pistol formation for Hunnemer. Watch Tetzloff lined up as a split-off tight end, and Hunnemer's going to hand off up the middle. No running room on that one. Running out of the shotgun and out of these wide sets just hasn't been there as much tonight as it has for the power formations for Brookings, and that clock will continue to tick. Bobcats not using their last timeout.
That's something I understand, trying to get a quick few yards because they're expecting pass, but I think you got to throw every play on this situation.
Hunnemer will drop back to throw. Looking right side, incomplete. Check that left side. It was right side of the Yankton defense. Miles Drotzman in there on the coverage, hit about the 25-yard line off the turf. So third down now, and 9 from the 16-yard line. And it's 4-down territory for Brookings. They can't punt it back, so maybe they try to play it safe, but you can't really play safe when the clock and everything is against you right now. Under 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Yankton leads 14-7. Hunemer in the shotgun again, running back on his right hip pocket. Hunemer takes the snap, chest high, starts to roll out. Amaro providing pressure, fires it downfield. Bergen Tetzloff makes a big play, but he fumbles. He's back on top of it. Bergen Tetzloff from hero to zero, back to hero. 1st and 10 Brookings from about the 30-yard line. Their own 30-yard line, still 70 yards to go for a touchdown.
That's one way to put it. Heck of an effort there from the senior tight end to make a play and keep this football game alive.
Pistol formation here for Brookings, fresh set of downs. Hunemer takes the snap, looks quick left side, leaves it too low and out of reach of Idem. It'll be a clock stoppage with the incompletion, but 2nd and 10 now from their own 30.
Yeah, minute 30 to go from the 30. Got to go the rest of the way down the field, obviously, or try to get a touchdown. And, you know, if the offense can get going passing the football, plenty of time. But yet, Brayden, outside of really that last play that we saw from Tetzloff, we haven't been able to see this passing game get going for the Brookings offense.
Shotgun formation again here for Hunemer. 3 receivers split out wide left, 1 to the right. Hunemer takes the chest high snap. Looks left side, ball's out. Hazelhorst tries to knock it away. That ball is incomplete. 3rd and 10 from their own 30 for Brookings. Clock stops with just under a minute 25.
Yeah, once again, another nice job there by Cale Hazelhorst, the senior safety, making a play on defense as he has all year and forcing a 3rd and 10 here for the Brookings offense.
Looks like going to be a pistol here for Brookings. And the Bobcats going to waste their last time out. They did not like what they saw from the offensive formation. I don't know if it was procedural with how they were lined up or they didn't like the matchup, but that feels like, for lack of a better term, a bit of a waste of the final timeout.
Yeah, burning a final timeout on a play where the clock isn't running in this spot is really tough. It is. And now if you're Brookings, you got to be running no huddle the rest of the way. You probably were anyways, but yeah, that's tough to burn that situation.
Timeout brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Be wiser and go with Kaiser. That's Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton. 14-7 your score. We're under 90 seconds to play in this game, Josh. And this has been a bit of a roller coaster of emotions throughout the night.
Yeah, it really has. Really just kind of all up for Yankton in the first half, right? And then all of a sudden a 9-minute drive will bring you real down real fast, or real slow, I should say, in that case. But, yeah, it's been an up and down roller coaster here and a really quick-moving game because of how many run plays we've seen in this game. And now Brookings, it comes down to their quarterback's arm and Hunemer trying to get this done.
Yeah, this is one of the high-velocity roller coasters. It's one of those ones you get at the county fair for your nephews and nieces to get on, but I digress. 3rd and 10 from their own 30. Brookings has a long way to go, but they need a first down to keep things moving. Hunemer looks left, fires away, near the sideline to Idem, out of play. Idem tripped over the chains there as well as he was trying to bring that in. 4th and 10 Brookings, and this is potentially the final real play of the game.
Yeah, right. If Yankton can get a stop here, they'll obviously take knees with no timeouts left. They would be able to run out the entirety of the clock with knees. But, of course, needing to get the stop here. Look for some pressure, I think. Maybe they've been sending some of that Rover and Gavin Johnson as well as Chase Platt a couple times on some blitzes. I don't see him out there on the field right now. I see Krall out there as well as Johnson. I think Krall's the lone linebacker actually out there right now.
A heavy defensive back set here as they go 4 wide. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Brookings got to throw it here on 4th and 10. Hunemer looks downfield, pump fakes, rolls to his right, now over the middle. Caught! No! Out of the hands! Initially was in the midst of the intended target, Kingston Schneider, but going to the turf, he lost possession. The Bucks force the turnover on downs, and Josh secure the win over Brookings, barring any shenanigans out here on the kneel downs.
Let's be shenanigan free, shall we? Yeah, look, the Yankton defense, they get the stop there that they needed. This game tonight was about the defense. Played really well in that first half, and then all of a sudden the clock just moved and ticked and tick, 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 tick here in that second half. What a victory for Yankton. Needing to respond against with their backs against the wall after a loss to Sturgis last week. They walk in here tonight at home and get the win with the defense leading the way.
First kneel down there for Tate Bestie. He'll have to do it one more time, but Yankton back into the win column against a game Brookings team that really changed the entire complexion of the game in the second half with that long drive down the field.
Yeah, long drive indeed, and even though Yankton won, that's still, outside the Yankton defense, feels like the story of this game, right? It really was that 9-minute drive. And Yankton can, as soon as it gets down after 40 here, which it's about to, can take the knee.
And we are under the 40-second mark here as Bestie takes the knee. And that will do it from Crane Youngworth Field. The Bucks improved to 5-2 on the season as we are heading down the home stretch with 2 regular season games remaining for Yankton. 3-4 go the Brookings Bobcats as they have to travel back up the I-29 with a loss today. We're going to break everything down for you in the post-game report in a couple minutes. Yankton wins 14-7 over Brookings here on KYNT, KYN-TV.
The Boathouse is for everyone. Axe throwing, mini bowling, shuffleboard, beanbag, golf, pool, and darts, plus awesome food and drinks with lots of cold craft beers and other beverages. Some say the Boathouse is the most fun you can have on land. Trivia on Tuesday nights, music bingo on Wednesdays with live music on Friday night. This is downtown Yankton's fun gathering place for all ages. If you can't be on the boat or at a Bucks or Gazelles game, then it's the Boathouse.
Want to take the hassle out of servicing your heating or cooling system? Then sign up for the Kaiser Signature Membership Program. This is Chris Frick with Kaiser Heating and Cooling. Not only will you get peace of mind knowing your units are being serviced regularly, but being a Kaiser Signature member gives you priority service, a discount on parts and labor, and no overtime rates. Take comfort and let our qualified professional technicians keep you running.
Be the wiser and go with Kaiser. Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Credit union people are my people. Dreaming big, keeping life simple. Saving smart, living free at Explorers Credit Union. You're just like me. We chart new trails, we stand tall. Together we rise, together we call. Credit union people are my people, it's true. And I found my crew at Explorers CU. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit explorerscu.com to join the journey today.
Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
A couple days ago, a teacher came into the UPS store to print some worksheets for her classroom. As we were printing, she asked if we could help her design and print a custom banner for her school's upcoming event. Yes, we can. At the UPS store in Yankton, where for over 8 years we've been serving educators, businesses, and community members with all kinds of printing solutions. Stop by today and let us assist with your next project, and be sure to ask about our shipping services or current print specials.
Welcome in here on your post-game report, KYNC, KYN-TV. Your post-game report brought to you by The Move Group. Are you buying or selling? Move with Mason and The Move Group. 14-7, your final score here from Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton. And Josh, we're just going to get right into your post-game stat recap. Defense was on the menu today. Yankton wins 14-7, 204 yards of total offense for the Bucks, 106 on the ground, 98 through the air. while Brookings 126 yards of total offense, 110 rushing, 16 passing. But of those 110 rushing yards, I feel like 85 of them came on the one drive in the third into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they did. It really did, and that was insane. And defenses were the story of the game, but I think the 9+ minute drive is also the story of this game. That really just kind of turned everything on its head, took the sails really out of the rest of this game. I think everybody involved was still kind of in shock after it.
And looking at some individual stat leaders, I know you got them in front of you over there, Josh. How on the Yankton side of things, their individual stats? We'll start with the quarterback, Tate Bestie. How'd he do today?
Yeah, he was 14 for 21 passing. He had 98 yards in that touchdown to Owen Eisen. Speaking of him, he was the leading receiver today for both teams. He had 5 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown. Cale Hazelhorst, 4 catches for 28 yards. Jay Sedlacek, 90 yards on 25 carries, the leading rusher for the Bucs tonight.
Workhorse today for Jay Sedlacek. The yards per carry enjoyers may not appreciate it, but that is a tough day at the office for Jace in a positive way of tough day. He got the hard yards when he was called upon out there today.
Yeah, he did, and it wasn't easy. Like you said, there was a lot of things that had to happen, and he made it happen. So it's one of those where even though the yards per carry weren't necessarily the greatest, I still felt like he had an okay night because he was asked to do a lot and took a heck of a beating and hung in there and ran the ball well, I thought.
Looking at continuing with post-game stats, looking at the Brookings side of things, I know the offense wasn't spectacular outside of the run game, but how are Brookings into things? How'd they end up with stats on their side of the ball?
Yeah, taking a look at the Brookings numbers this evening, Huntemer, he completed 2 passes for 16 yards. It was really Bergen Tetzloff who led the way rushing. He had 12 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, Eidsness, he had 36 yards on 9 carries here this evening.
That's Otto Eidsness for Brookings. The Eidsnesses, whether they're related or not, good performance today for both of them. One helping lead a team in rushing and the other helping lead a team in receiving today. Looks like we're going to get into your post-game coach interview here with offensive coordinator Terry Huber. Offense, at the end of the day, you look at the numbers, may not be the name of the game, but still it was important for controlling clock, a little different mindset late. This post-game coach interview is brought to you by Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance. Let Rhonda review your current home, auto, or life insurance to see if she can help you save some money. That's Rhonda Westland State Farm. Coach Huber, initially coming off the sideline, an interesting second half to say the least. I don't even know, was your team on the field in the second half? Was the offense out there?
I tell you what, this is a night where this is why every week us coaches, we sit and we talk about it because we're all game planning for each other. And Coach Hale and Coach Ole, they had my back tonight because offense struggled. It was very obvious that we struggled, but they didn't. They had lights out games, and very proud of our special teams, our defense tonight. Offense, they worked hard. We got some stuff we got to fix after this week.
I just meant it more as a time of possession. That was almost 9+ minute drive for Brookings there. Outside of that, defense really wasn't giving up anything. But what are you thinking on the sideline, talking to your guys of eventually, maybe tonight we'll get back out on the field?
Yeah, I just keep talking to them. They got to stay up, especially it starts to get a little bit chillier now in the later fall. Make sure they're keeping their muscles warm so we're not having any, small injuries that can turn into big things. Also, just keeping them locked in. It's one thing that, a 9-minute drive, that can start to wear on you a little bit mentally and just come on, let's get off the field, let's get off the field. But they understand that our defense is working their tails off out there, and so just making sure they're supporting the guys and staying locked in on what we're going to do when we get back out there.
Tate Bestie, your quarterback, maybe not as gaudy as his numbers have been at times this season, but I think very good efficiency day, especially after more of a tough time last week in Sturgis. We have him at 14 for 21, so good completion percentage for him.
Yeah, and we knew coming into this week, these guys, they're a max coverage defense, and I would have liked to have a little bit more out of the run game. I guess I don't know what the numbers were, but I wasn't extremely pleased. We were getting a couple, 2-yard, 3-yard gains, but there was a lot more that was left on the table tonight. And I guess as an OC, I'm not super impressed about that, and I know that our O-lineman is not as well. I know Jace ran the ball very hard, but we got to do better up front to take care of that and make those bigger holes.
Yeah, and that kind of led into what I was going to ask you here, Coach. 25 carries for Jace tonight. Was that part of the game plan coming in tonight, or was that something as you see the game kind of unfold and notice it's kind of defense or winning the day both ways? Is that just something that kind of just as the night came on, did that unfold, or was that something that was part of the game plan?
Yeah, no, coming in knowing that they're most likely going to have 5 in the box, we got to be able to run the ball. And that's I guess to me the most disappointing thing is we should have been able to control the game. offensively this week, just with the 3-4 defense when they got those backers wide. There's 5 true guys that are in the box, and we got to take care of business there. And I didn't think that we did a great job. Once again, I put the blame on myself, not having the stuff right up front. But I really thought that the guys worked hard, and Jace was running the ball very hard. It just, to me, this is something I need to fix, and I got to get this right this next week.
And I wanted to take you back to the Tate touchdown to Owen in the back of the end zone. Walk me through that throw. That was a tight window.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is that they understand, we work scramble drill every week. And, it may not hit right away, but you do not stop your feet and just sit there. If you do that, you're an easy target to cover. They were very mobile. We had Booms and Owen coming, in the same location. Tate saw where the gap was. He put it there and trusted the guys. One of the two was coming down with that ball. It just ended up in Owen's hands, and he's just trusting his receivers, which is exactly what we want him to do.
All right, I got one last question here for you, Coach. You're staying home next week. You got T area coming to town. I know your focus is on the offensive side of the ball as the OC and working with the offensive line and such, but a similar offense that we saw Brookings try to run tonight in T area coming to town next week. Yeah,
if there's one thing I know about playing T every year is they are physical. And obviously we see them on film when we're looking through the other teams and and some pre-scouting stuff too. But these guys are physical. They're going to be coming downhill. They're going to try to run the ball. They got good guys in the backfield and they got big linemen. So I see on both sides of the ball they're going to be extremely physical, and we have to outmatch that. That's the one thing Coach Muth is phenomenal at talking about with the guys is if you're a more physical team, usually you have the bigger edge on that game, and especially in a game like tonight and a game like tomorrow, this next week against T, we have to be the more physical team.
All right, Coach, thanks for taking time to come up and talk to us today. Congrats on the 14-7 win. Back in the win column. Absolutely. Up to 5-2 now on the season for Yankton.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys as always. Appreciate all the fans coming out. It was a beautiful night for football. Couldn't have asked for a better night. Good win for Yankton, and go Bucks.
And we'll talk to you tomorrow morning for the Coaches Show as well.
Appreciate it.
That was Offensive Coordinator Terry Huber here on KYNT and KYN-TV, your post-game coach interview. We're going to take a quick break, come back in 90 seconds, and wrap things up here from Crane Youngworth Field.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Stay healthy this season with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. They are hosting flu shot clinics every Tuesday afternoon, 3 to 4:30 from October 7th through November 11th, and Saturdays, October 11th and November 8th from 9 a.m. to noon. Walk-ins are welcome, or schedule your appointment online at yanktonmedicalclinic.com. Don't wait. Protect yourself and your loved ones today with a flu shot from Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
FNBO is the great big small bank. And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
Welcome back in here, KYNC, KYN-TV. It's time for your players of the game. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball, and this one, it feels a little bit like a cop-out, Josh. I'm not going to lie, because neither player is actually on the offense, but we don't give a chance. We don't really get a chance to give love to special teams guys as much as we really should here on KYNT and KYN-TV. So your offensive players of the game today, plural, brought to you by Hy-Vee, are your kicker and punter. Kevin Ortiz and Liam Villanueva really set this team up for success. Ortiz with 2 huge field goals in the end as it ends up being a 1-score game. And then Liam Villanueva was flipping field all night long, pinning Brookings back deep. They say the best offense is a good defense. Well, he was setting the defense up with success.
Yeah, he was great. Both guys were great. Special teams is so important in football, and we've seen that at the NFL level this year especially. There's been some crazy plays, blocked field goals, punt and kick returns, things like that. You saw why tonight special teams matters and why Yankton puts a lot of pride in their special teams. Kevin was great on the field goal side of things. Liam was great. You saw some big things on kickoff. You saw some things on punt. Both guys were amazing tonight.
And Defensive Player of the Game brought to you by Olson's Pest Technicians, your residential and commercial pest control solution. Call 1-800-KIL-BUGS. Defensive Player of the Game, William Guzman-Yugofsky, a guy who also doesn't seem to get a lot of recognition for how much of a stud he is on the interior of that defensive line, but he was causing some havoc in the backfield today.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes of the defense. The quarterback slipped, and he was able to technically get the sack out of that, but he was great in the run game for the most part today, and was really good. This whole defense honestly deserves it. They were all great, but William with a really good performance today.
Those are your offensive and defensive players of the game here on KYNT and KYN-TV. Showing love to the special teams with Kevin Ortiz and Liam Villanueva, and defensively with William Guzman-Yugofsky. All in all, fun game tonight, Bull. Interesting game. I know we keep talking about it. A lot of different things that we don't usually see at the Class 11 AA level. But now, as we get into your schedule preview, brought to you by Parker Hannafin of Yankton. Parker, engineering your success. T-Area comes to town next week, and they're a team that fell today to Watertown earlier on. So they're a team that's going to be hungry to get back in the win column. And once again, 11 AA just continues to be wide open.
Yeah, wide open and a big game next week for the standings. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We'll find out over the next couple days what that'll look like standings-wise going into that game. But you got to imagine whoever wins that probably has the inside track to that 2 seed, which is big because if you get one of those top 2 seeds, you're home all the way to the Dome. And Yankton obviously looking to achieve that. And I think, once again, we talked about as long as they're able to pull out a win next week, you got to think they're probably in contention for that, if not the favorite for that 2 spot.
Should be interesting next week. A T-Area Titans team that still loves to run the football. Old school power offense for them. We'll see if they can bring it here to Crane-Youngworth Field. We'll see how Yankton responds. Big game next week. We'll be here for it. KYNT, KYN-TV. That's going to do it for our coverage of Yankton football tonight, though, Josh. I've been Brayden Butler. He's been Josh Boelter. Big thank you to Grady Harrington back at the Yankton studio, at the KYNT studio, our board technician, making sure everything's running correctly on his end. Big thank you to Abby Saylor running camera tonight and Cooper Kanthick for running our scoreboard. And obviously thank you to our sponsors and listeners. Without you, this is not possible. Yankton improves to 5-2 with a 14-7 win over Brookings here at Crane-Youngworth Field. Until next week, I've been Brayden Butler. He's been Josh Boelter. Stay safe, be good people, and have a great night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Yankton Athletics on KYNT, a Riverfront sports property and Yankton's home team. Be sure to subscribe to the KYN-TV YouTube page and hit the notification bell so you never miss the action. You can also find KYNT on Facebook, X, Instagram, and online. Remember, KYNT